these doubts like the playing cards close to my chest. Turn them round for the river and hope it's something that I won't regret. So I'm holding myself on a precipice, and I've been dreaming off the ground. So I'm looking for something that's definite. I'm praying you don't let me down. It's gotta be all. It's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. Oh, oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. Oh, it's gotta be all or nothing. All or nothing. It's almost like falling in love for the first time, all over again. Hold on tight to the...
Hi. Hello. Oh shit, this is still going. Is my audio off with my camera? I have a new streaming camera, and I was setting it up. That's kind of why I was taking so long. But, like, my playback here looks like... I don't know. I can't tell. Oh, yeah, I have purple hair now. I forgot to tell you guys that. I'm sure you noticed. Let me move me over here, though. Hi. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, okay, the delay thing. Yeah, I'm seeing it, too. Not really sure how to fix it. Ooh. Yikes. Well, I think we might have to just put up with that for today and see if there's... Oh, Eve says I'm saying... I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. Hey, Chelsea, thank you for renewing your membership. So happy to see you guys. Oh, I'm a little... Okay. Well, hopefully you guys won't notice so much when I shrink my little face down and... I don't know. Maybe... Yeah, barely off. That's so annoying. Well, when I click play on our thing... Oh, hey! Hey, Nikki, what's up? Thanks for renewing your membership. When I click play on the video, I'll see if I can, like, troubleshoot it or something. That's the only thing, like, I was working on this whole thing, setting this all up with a new camera, and I didn't even think to mess with the syncing stuff, so... No, it's not... I'm sure it's not the stream. I'm sure it's the camera. So, life and delay. Oh, well. Okay, good. Well, whatever. We'll figure it out. Just don't look at my mouth. I mean... Oh, shit. Oh, no, I have the audio synced and stuff. Anyway, if it's really that big of an issue and people are freaking out about it, I can put my old webcam up and see how that goes. But, yeah. It's minor. Okay. All right. Sweet. Well, hey, guys. You haven't seen a video from me in a while. So let me first apologize for that. Also, I'm feeling like my camera needs to be... Because my monitor is here, but my camera's over here. I don't know. Anyway. I was supposed to post a video on Monday. It's a collab, so, like, I'm not the only one involved in this whole situation here. So Monday was supposed to come out, and then it was supposed to come out today, because the other person was waiting on sponsorship approval. Well, now they have sponsorship approval, and they had to change something else. So now it's supposedly getting pushed back to tomorrow. So fingers crossed that everything works out so we can go live tomorrow. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a fun... Sorry about that. It's going to be a fun collab, and I'm really stoked for you guys to see it. So, yeah, I figure most people generally just listen to these long videos anyway. So, maybe I shouldn't have brought it up then, huh, Elizabeth? Elizabeth. The woman who was hospitalized for heat exhaustion in Echo Canyon Trail, like, girl. Sheila, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. Ooh, hopefully this works. Here, hold on. Is this... Okay.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much. Oh, my fart button? It's here. We're all here. I don't think my other shit is working, though. Like this fart sound? Oh, it does work. Okay, great, great. That's why I didn't play the theme song, because, like, I was troubleshooting my Stream Deck also. Okay, but yeah, Pop-Tarts. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in the chat. They're beautiful. Yeah. Oh yeah, so anyway, people who think that they're all tough and strong and whatever the fuck, think they can go hiking in Phoenix in the summer. According to my desktop right now, and you guys might be able to see it if I do this. See down here? 110 degrees outside right now. What up? Nice. Love that. That's Phoenix for you. And that's like... It's been like 115 to 117 the past like week. So people who think that they can go hiking in this weather, don't even try. What are you doing? What are you doing? So it happens every year though. Like every single year there's people getting like helicopter evacuated to hospitals and shit. So 115 where you are? Maybe that's just, I don't know. Maybe that's just my part of Phoenix. I don't know. Shyla, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Yeah, 110 right now. That's just right now. But yeah, last week it was like 117. It's been a lot. But anyway, before we get started on this, which let me probably pull it up here. It's going to be part 2 to Jessie Lee Ward's cancer journey. But yeah, before, I just want to give you guys some updates. So I think that I'm going to keep like this kind of reactionary content, like what we're doing now. And then I guess like what you're used to seeing from me, from a video perspective, like an edited video. Most of that I think we're going to just keep on live stream, but I'm going to start doing more like documentary style, content. So like the past, even though like I haven't uploaded a video because I've been, you know, waiting on the other person to get all their stuff together so that we're all ready to post, I have been researching stuff for a deep dive, but I want to like branch out to more topics also. So obviously like all the anti-MLM stuff, I'll still do anti-MLM stuff like as editing and stuff, but I'm going to do more deep dives as it goes for that. Kira, thank you for renewing your membership. And Carrie, Death Valley hit 130, and here in the Midwest we are all 90 all week, and my complex's pool is out of service. So yeah, oh no, dude, no, I saw that Death Valley had like 135 or something like that, which is wild. Freaking, like, I don't think you guys understand how hot that is. I don't even understand. I understand like the hottest I've been in I think is like 122 is how hot it's gotten here, where I've walked outside and it is unmanageable, dude. And it's like I can't even imagine how hot 130, let alone 135 is, you know? It's wild. Lizzie, thank you. Your hair is gorgeous. I'm jealous. Mine's faded. So yesterday, sorry, this is a long intro, but I just feel like I haven't talked to you guys in so long. Yesterday I was trying to go lavender, and it was like, because I still had some yellow in my hair, it was like kind of turning bluish, greenish at the tips, and it just wasn't, I don't know. So I ended up just going darker today, hoping that when this fades out, it'll be more of a lavender color, but that's what I was going for. Louise V, thank you for being a member for 18 months. I appreciate it. Yeah, you hope the wildlife is okay. I think they're all used to it out here. Most things, like, we don't have a lot of plants and stuff because they all die, so. We have cacti and Palo Verde trees and a couple special little bushes. And then like rattlesnakes and lizards, so they love it when it's warm. They're cold-blooded, so the wildlife out here is fine, I think. You would die. But yes, dude, Seattle is wonderful. I have tried to convince my husband to move us to Washington, and he said no because he's the responsible one. But anyway, make sure you're licking the stream, please, my friends. And now let's get down with Jessie Lee Ward. Amanda, thank you for joining. Oh, mesquite trees. Yeah, I think those are things that exist out here. Quick side note, and I had this in the intro, but I'm not a medical professional. Please don't take anything I say as medical advice, but also please don't take anything that Jessie Lee Ward says as medical advice. So, yeah, don't do any of that. She's going to give some very dangerous, like, I did watch through this today to make sure that there wasn't anything I needed to edit out, and then, like, of course, last time I tried to edit stuff out, it just, I showed you the unedited version anyway, oops. Don't worry, this doesn't have that today, but, the talking points, can be a bit, how do I put, dangerous. Yeah. So, yeah, content warning on that end, and lick the stream, please. It's coffee enema flavored, and here we go.
Hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's Jessie Lee, and if you're just tuning in, I am chronicling my journey of my diagnosis of stage 4 metastatic colon cancer, and I am telling you all the details so that you or any of your loved ones who might be going through something like this can learn from it, can grow from it, can maybe not freak out as much as you might from your cancer journey if you happen to be on one, and maybe provide you some information, some insights, some tools, some tips, some tricks, and ultimately just take you on a super transparent journey of everything I've been through.
I just really, like, sorry I'm pausing already, but I find it kind of, like, unsettling the way she kind of, like, was saying that just then. She was kind of like, make sure you don't freak out a little bit. Like, I'm sorry, and obviously, like, I don't have cancer or any wild, like, diseases like that, so, like, I don't know what it's like personally to be in a situation like this, but I feel like if you are diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, while, like, having a little bit of hope and being like, there are things that you can do to, like, even if it's, like, just to make you feel better, to make you feel safer, to give you some hope, like, great. But she's essentially, like, that's what this is gonna come down to, is, like, don't listen to the doctors. Like, they're gonna tell you that you only have 2 months to live, blah, 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 or whatever. Like, don't freak out. At a certain point, like, you need to still be grounded in reality when it comes to this stuff, you know? I don't think it's the best idea to be giving terminal cancer patients just like, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine. Like, I mean, we have to prepare them for reality, right? But she's just like, don't freak out, it's fine. And now she's going to tell us about coffee enemas and infrared, whatever those fucking, I forget what it is. All the things that she's doing. I don't think she mentions the coffee enemas or, like, sunning her butthole in this video, although I'm sure she'll mention it eventually in another video. But right now she's just talking about, like, she hasn't gotten that far into it yet. Not in this video series anyway. But either way, I feel like it's just the way she said that is very, like, not grounded in reality, and I think it's important to at least, like, have a realistic expectation about a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. I hope that makes sense what I was trying to say there. It's like, her ego is too big that it will be her downfall. I think there are a lot of things that could essentially be Jessie Lee Ward's downfall. She does what to her wear? You heard me, Eve. Yeah, no, she suns her butthole, apparently. Because that's a thing. I don't know.
Because you start to realize that it's kind of a legacy play that you're on, and you take into completely different consideration when you get a diagnosis and a prognosis as well, which are two totally different things. Life. You realize that each day is super precious, and you realize that time really can stop like that. You never know.
It is delusional, like you said, Hannah. But she's, like, projecting her delusion onto other people who are basically just coming to her for some kind of hope and support, and I just feel like it's dangerous. Hope is important, sure, yeah. You should not, you know, get down and be like, well, it's hopeless, I'm not going to do anything. Like, there's no point in even trying, you know. I'm not trying to say that. But, like, realistically, and I think we've seen since the beginning of this whole cancer diagnosis with Jessie, is that she's kind of been acting like someone who's in denial about the whole thing. Rebecca, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. How do you even sun your butthole? So the sun does shine there. It does if you try hard enough. You gotta get in the right position, dude.
So, with that said, welcome
Rebecca,
to
thank you
2, I guess.
for renewing
I'm
your membership.
excited to be here on the channel with you, and there were a couple things that I haven't shared with you in my first episode that I want to kind of back it up and make sure you subscribe and follow along, because these are just a few things I think are very important. So, the first thing is I don't think I really took you through the MRI experience, and for some of you, this might be something that is extremely scary. This might be something where you feel like you're claustrophobic.
Oh, Rachel, do you lay on your back to do that? I was picturing, like, what is it? Is it downward dog? That yoga pose, or like, I pictured them being on their stomach with their butts in the air. But, I guess that makes sense also. You could do it that way. But then, like, don't you have to have yourself propped up? Like, you'd have to be on an incline so that the sun shines directly on your butt. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes more sense to just kind of lay there in, like, a yoga pose. I think we all have that, like a crawling baby, you know? Except butt, like, way higher up. I don't know.
Going to be like, and I want to talk about my experience at Pronuvo. This is not sponsored. I don't have an affiliate link for you or anything like that. But it was a really great experience. I walked in, the facilities were clean, they were new, they were updated. I walked in and there was a really nice private waiting area. The locker rooms were these full locker rooms like I was at a really fancy gym. A snack room, which I didn't eat any of it because it was all like really yummy snacks, like fruit snacks and candies and pretzels and stuff. And the staff was amazing. So I went to the location in Dallas, Texas. It was a good experience. I'd say it was about 45 minutes to an hour. I was just laying there, and you don't fall asleep because they tell you to hold your breath and then breathe, and hold your breath and then breathe, and then hold your breath and then breathe. But it was painless. It was super easy. I was in and out in an hour 15 minutes, and overall great experience, I guess, for an MRI. And it wasn't scary. I just want to reiterate that because I think for some people they worry about these kinds of things, and I want to be your friend and let you know, all right? The second thing I didn't talk about was the colonoscopy.
I'm sorry, but her, Pippi, okay, all right. Her tone in this, is it rubbing anyone else the wrong way? Like, even just, it almost feels like she's talking down to you, like she's talking to a toddler or something. Like a child. Pippi, come on. I don't know, it feels kind of condescending. Doggy style with the sun, exactly, Steph. That's what I was thinking. Nikki. Yeah, no, I don't, there's a tone here that I feel like is just, it's a little too much. I understand being, like, all positive and stuff and trying to, I don't know, trying to be a ray of positivity in the life of somebody who needs it, okay? I get that. But it's too far for me, personally, in my opinion.
Another not really scary thing. So I talked about the colonoscopy, but I want to talk about the prep a little bit. So I was already intermittent fasting the day before. So I tend to do an 18-6 fast. I've been intermittent fasting for 13 years.
18-6, really? So 18 hours no eating and only eating for 6 hours throughout the day. Like, I think usually, because I've done intermittent I've done intermittent fasting before, and I feel like usually they say, like, 14 hours on, or no. They'll do 8 hours eating, and then, what's the math there? 14 hours off. I think that's usually, like, where they have you, I don't know, the more popular kind, I don't know. So I would normally eat, like, I would do, like, from, like, 9 a.m., I'd have breakfast or whatever, and then 8 hours later have my dinner, and then not eat until the next morning. I just feel like 18-6 sounds like a lot of time to go without eating, but if it works, it works, but that sounds like a lot.
And I got the phone call.
I think she does have a filter.
11 a.m. from Dr. Ken Brown asking, hey, are you fasted? And I said, yeah. He said, don't eat. Do your colonoscopy prep. So I would have broken my fast around 1 o'clock. So since I hadn't eaten, it was no problem. And the reason you want to have a fasted state, it's a lot easier than taking colonoscopy prep.
Do I need to turn her up?
A colon full of heavy foods, of big starches,
Okay, is that
of
better?
meat, God forbid. Because if you're not fully digested and you take the colonoscopy prep, you are basically pooping out, I don't know, I mean, it would be painful, okay? So I was already fasted. I was just on liquids throughout the day. And then in the evening, I started drinking the colonoscopy prep. I want to say around 8 p.m. Was drinking it. I think it was little pills. I'll show you the brand. Here's the brand. And then I was taking, I think, one of those pills every half hour. So it was kind of annoying because I was having to wake up to alarms, take a set of pills, then take a second set of pills. And I kind of was chronicling this actually on a TikTok. And then I didn't finish chronicling it and definitely pooped my brains out around 2 in the morning. And I pooped my brains out for about an hour and it was just peeing out of your butt. But I will tell you, I'm kind of familiar with like that feeling because I drink pure therapeutic ketones and sometimes I drink them too fast. If you know, you know. But anyway.
Yeah, we know, Jessie. Here she is making a video, like, trying to be supportive, like, offer some support and hope and happy feelings to people who have just been given a really, like, terrible and heartbreaking diagnosis. And here she is pitching her fucking ketones. Jessie, read the room, dude. This is not the place for that. Holy mackerel.
So that was fine. I woke up colonoscopy, got there at 6 in the morning for a 7 a.m. colonoscopy. And again, bedside manner was great. Had a great conversation on entrepreneurship with the doctor, Dr. Brown. And he said, hey, let's just get you out of here. He was so nice. He said, actually, I won't forget. He goes, I'm with your brother. I think it's an infection. Anyway. But he was great. We were kind of goofing around, just chit-chatting. And then you're asleep, guys. So for those of you that are really worried about, oh my gosh, there's something in my butt. I don't put anything up my butt. You should try it. Just kidding. It's my channel though. So, but for those of you that are scared of that kind of stuff, you're knocked out.
I mean, she's not wrong. Yeah, sure, whatever, Jessie. You can say whatever you want. Like, say that shit. Fine, whatever. Say that shit. Okay? However, there's a time and a place for that kind of stuff. And I don't necessarily know that this is the time and the place to be, like, making those kind of jokes. But whatever. You do you, Jessie. That's fine.
Okay? And so I woke up, felt like, obviously, I took a little nap. I wake up, bada bing, bada boom. Really easy. Nothing slimy, nothing weird, nothing gross, nothing coming out after or before, none of that stuff. And so, just so you guys know, I did hear from Grey's Anatomy that they're not supposed to release you until you fart, I think they said on Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, that's not true. So if somebody told me that,
I'm assuming she's talking about the TV show, because isn't Grey's Anatomy like a legitimate, like, book, like a medical book, isn't it? But the TV show, it's like, yeah, maybe don't take everything that you hear. That's like saying, like, yeah, I watched an episode of House and now I'm a medical expert. Like, maybe not.
But I guess I'll let you know. So that's not true. So I want to tell you about that. And then I want to tell you about the CT scan with contrast. So no one tells you about this, but when they give you the contrast, which you saw me in the last video drinking the stuff, they also give you an IV that the radiation goes in. So the radiation, it doesn't hurt or anything going in. However, you get a warm flush. And I just want to tell you what that experience is like. CT scan takes 2 minutes, by the way.
Wait, radiation before CT scan? She's not talking about, like, radiation, like cancer treatment, right? Is this something that you have to do before a CT scan? How does that work? I don't know.
So it feels like you're peeing yourself. So everything just flushes warm. Everything is warm. You're, like, totally overwhelmed with this warm sensation. So just wanted to kind of walk you guys through those because I don't think I talked about it. So by the way, right after the colonoscopy and the diagnosis, that's the first time that I went on TikTok. So now I'm going to kind of jump back in. So
it's the
first time
contrast.
I looked up
Okay.
colon cancer on TikTok. I know that might sound strange, but I was looking for people who maybe had a similar journey to me, and then kind of realized very quickly, it can get really negative and really sad really fast. And so I didn't want to do that. I did also notice that there's a lot of people with colon cancer that are super young. And then I got kind of frustrated because to get a colonoscopy, unless you have something going on that's dramatic, like you're bleeding.
Okay, I'm glad that, like, there's conversation in the chat here that, like, everyone else is kind of confused about this also. Like, the whole radiation thing. I am also confused. I mean, I'm obviously not a medical professional. I did have a CT scan once when I had a kidney stone. That was weird. But that I don't know if it was like with contrast. I don't remember being pumped with that kind of stuff, although I was hooked up to an IV, so I don't know. But yeah, I know that a lot of you guys are saying that it's radiation for the CT scan, but a lot of you guys are also just like, wait, no, she's talking about a contrast thing. It can't be, like, because, you know, they say, like, radiation for cancer. Like, I don't think that that's what she's talking about. Wait, TikTok. Oh, did she say? Wait, not all CT scans use contrast. For my breast cancer, I had iodine injected, I think. Well, she said specifically that it was contrast. CT contrast is radioactive. Oh. So, like, is it correct to call it radiation? Why wouldn't you just call it dye? Like, I guess you could call it radioactive dye. Maybe, I don't know. It's just, it almost seems really fear-mongery to say it that way, but maybe not.
Out of your butt or something else really crazy, maybe dramatic family history, or you can't pass stool or something like this. 45 years old is when you can get your first colonoscopy without anything predetermined or predisposed or whatever. And so I think that's really strange because on TikTok, when I first went on there in February, I noticed there's a lot of young people younger than me, like very young. I mean, and then I went on Google, which I'm not saying you should Google a bunch of stuff, but I went.
That's probably the first thing she said. That's actually probably good advice when it comes to medical stuff. Okay.
On Google, and it's the fastest growing cancer by far. So, hello, these need to be moved up. If you want a colonoscopy at 10, you should be able to get a colonoscopy at 10. I don't know, it'd be weird. But if that's what you want, I feel like advocate for yourself because, good Lord. But that's also where I kind of started seeing some stuff. And I'm going to do probably my next video going through all of the different treatments and all of the different remedies and all the different stuff that I've done, that I am doing, that I've tried, all this stuff. But I want to actually thank the TikTok community for this because TikTok, when I made an announcement about it, it was overwhelming with not only support, thank you so much, there's hate messages, but thank you so much in general. And then a lot of really good suggestions. A lot of people about, black seed oil, or a lot of people about castor oil, or a lot of people talking about the Joe Tippins protocol, which I'll explain to you guys, or a lot of people talking about, turmeric and curcumin, and a lot of people talking about crispy cancer, and a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff. And
what the fuck is crispy cancer? Is that like a crunchy thing? Crispy, crunchy? Is there, like, maybe it's something totally different, but I'm like, if they're, like, related, if crispy cancer is, like, a crunchy thing, it must be popular enough that they, like, put a name on it, like a label on it, And I don't like that. Yeah, and I guess my thing is that it's, like, really interesting to me from a, like, American medical, like, healthcare perspective, that, like, we essentially do kind of shop for our healthcare out here because it's just been intertwined in capitalism, basically. Because it's straight up, it's a healthcare marketplace, dude. Like, that's essentially what it is. So it's, like, it's interesting to me that we have it like that, but you can't, like, really shop for healthcare. Or, medical procedures, I guess. I feel like if you have the money to do it, like, I'm almost surprised that doctors wouldn't be like, okay, fine, yes, we will do a colonoscopy for you. Which is shitty. Like, anyone who feels like they need a colonoscopy, or, like, does need a colonoscopy, like, they shouldn't have to be paying for it anyway, in my opinion. However, it is kind of weird to me. Like, at a certain, I mean, but are there, like, you know how when pregnant ladies have, like, you can go get, like, 40 ultrasounds at, like, specifically an ultrasound place, but you have to pay, like, they're not covered by insurance because it's not, like, a medical scan. It's, like, let's just look and see what's going on in there. Do they have things like that for, like, colonoscopies? And, like, other They'd have to, right? This is America. You can get it, just insurance might not cover it. Oh, okay. I have to cover crispy cancer? Freaking yikes. I don't want to Google crispy cancer. I'm like looking, I had a mammogram as a man. It ended up being an endocrine imbalance that made a mass. I stopped my medication and it resolved. Oh yeah, self-pay. Yeah, I guess that's a thing, huh? That's really interesting. Yeah, so, but like, can you go to a doctor or like any kind of clinic or whatever and be like, hi, I don't have like what do they call it when doctors, like, not a referral. Like, I don't have a referral, but like I have $20,000 or whatever. However much colonoscopies cost before insurance hits. Like, will you give me a colonoscopy if I self-pay? I don't know. I'd see, that's like the part of the American medical system that I don't really understand. Google it. Are we really gonna do this right now? Because now I'm curious. What the fuck is crispy cancer? Not Chris beat cancer. Is that what it is? Chris beat cancer? No way. Freedom Found Nutrition. Oh, it is Chris beat cancer? A blog about healing cancer with nutrition and natural therapies. Okay, so I don't think it's crispy cancer. I think it's Chris beat cancer. Oh my god. How unfortunate. Yeah, that has to be it. Okay, so, alright, so it just kind of seems like it's oh, quickly, thank you for the $5 hairs. Hi, Savannah, I'll watch from the beginning later because I'm watching Kit Boga right now. Have a good stream. Oh, tell Kit Boga I said hi. I love Kit Boga. He's live right now? Does he do night streams again? Because I used to watch all of his night streams. I used to love his night streams. But he stopped doing it because, like, the viewership was low. Anyway. It's both? Wait, hold on. Because I Googled crispy cancer, and it came up with Chris beat cancer. Like, what the fuck? Right. I'm so confused. Crispy cancer is a much better blog name. I mean, to be fair, it sounds like he was, you know, using natural remedies or whatever, so it, like, or alternative medicine, so it really is, like, a crunchy thing, and crispy and crunchy, it makes sense. Like, if that were what it was, anyway. Sorry, you got the Kit Boga notification. Wait, he, like, just went live? Whoa. It's not, okay, there are people saying it's both, and there's people saying it's not both. I don't think it's both. I think it's Chris beat cancer. What the fuck? Okay, sorry. We'll continue.
And I didn't know about all that stuff because nobody in my family has colon cancer. There's no history of this. None of this is anything I had ever looked up before. I've never had digestive issues.
Wait, didn't she... At one point, maybe you guys will remember specifically, but I feel like at one point she was saying that, like, it was like her cancer was like a genetic mutation or something like that. But then if no one in your family has cancer or colon cancer, then wouldn't that mean it's not genetic and it's like an external cause or something? Again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm just a professional idiot. I don't know anything. Maybe I'm just like confused about something, but I probably am. I'm confused about stuff all the time.
And so why would I know? So I actually want to thank you guys.
Quickly, thank you. Also, everyone lick the stream. Also, no, I'm not watching his streaming. I'm just watching his old YouTube video. Oh, okay, gotcha. Rachel, she's deaf, said that she had a gene mutation. Right. All cancer is from genetic mutation. Oh, yeah, that's true, huh? Like, not in the sense where it's like you get your genes from your mom and dad. Because, like, there are external factors that cause cancer also. Anyway, sorry, I don't know. I don't want to get into that conversation because I'm just going to sound really stupid because I don't know what I'm talking about.
It has gotten really overwhelming in some aspects, but I would rather have an onslaught of information than be sitting there feeling alone or feeling like nothing's in my control. And so I want to thank you for that. So that was back in February. So when pathology came back, all the stories, oh my gosh, the things I have to tell you, this is crazy. This is gonna sound crazy, but none of this is untrue. So the people that flew down for my surgery, by the way, amazing. I want to give some shout outs. Dawn Allen came from Florida. Louisa Wixom came from, Luisa Nunez. My bad, she got married like 15 years ago. But that's a childhood
Her audio
best friend.
levels are all weird,
Luisa
sorry.
Nunez came from Tennessee.
Oh, Abby.
Mateo Taglia came from Barcelona.
I'm thinking of Hereditary. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. You're right. The other thing is too is like right now she's talking about Sasha and Mateo, and if you guys, maybe if you're more new to the Jessie Lee situation, like maybe since she's gotten cancer or whatever, Sasha and Mateo are like these two dudes that she was hanging around with like a lot. Neither of them are her boyfriend Avi. They're like two other dudes. Like one is German, or is he like Swiss or something. They went on the Colombia trip with her. They were like in pictures together all the time. They were always together. And then like since she's had cancer, like she's saying right now they like came out for her surgeries and stuff, which like that's great. We love the support system she has. But like aside from that, we haven't seen them again. We haven't heard from them. Like where are they? They were seriously, like, if you scroll through Jessie Lee's Facebook or her social media or whatever, it's just, like, everything is, like, Sasha and Mateo. And it was before she showed us what Avi's face looked like. So it was just, yeah, it was just, like, her and two dudes, like, all the time. And then they kind of dropped off the face of the planet. So, like, where are they? Yeah, Sasha's German, you're right. They're her yes men. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I don't know. Thank you guys for all the information about cancer and genetics versus hereditary stuff. Yeah, I'll have to go back and read the live chat later, but you guys are much smarter than me when it comes to that stuff. They seem to have vanished. I know. That's what I was saying. And I was like, I literally was asking, like, Aaron we're in like a anti-MLM or content creator group chat or whatever, and like right after this came out, I think when DC was reacting to this, I was like, yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, what the fuck happened to Sasha and Mateo? They're like gone now. They went bye-bye. Jessie Lee got cancer and they're like, bye. I mean, to be fair, they do apparently live on the opposite side of the world, but they were here with Jessie all the time forever. And then suddenly she gets cancer and they're not in the picture at all anymore. I don't know. Maybe they were allergic to the publicity. No, they seem like the type of people who love that kind of publicity. Let's start a rumor that they didn't get along with Avi. No, because Avi went on the trip with them and stuff too. She just didn't show his face. He seems like the type to hate his women having friends. You would think so, right? But like, I don't know, Jessie is not, she's a no bullshit kind of person though. Like if she wants to have boyfriends, male friends, if she wants to have them, she's gonna have them. Courtney hasn't been on her stories too recently. Yeah, but I feel like Courtney has been like there though. Like she still pops her head in fairly often. But like with how much we saw Sasha and Mateo for so long, for them to just literally just vanish is really interesting. Did they disagree with no chemo? Probably not. They seem to be yes men, you know, like someone else in the chat just said. They seem to go along with everything Jessie said and did. I mean, they basically helped her kidnap her team in Colombia, so I don't know. Maybe Jessie dumped them since cancer is such an attention magnet. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if, like, she's just hanging out with two, like, good-looking foreign dudes and, like, doing that. Like, why would you do that for attention? Like, you really... Because we know she loves attention, but, like, that doesn't seem like something that... Well, maybe. Maybe Jessie Lee would do that. I don't fucking know. I would find it hard to be around her as she denies medically sound cancer treatment. Yeah, see, that's, like, most normal people. Yeah. most of us can agree that that's just like something difficult to deal with. I don't know. I don't think Sasha and Mateo like drew the line there though, you know? Anyway.
And Sasha Franz came from, he was actually in the Canary Islands at the time, and he cut his vacation short, but he came from Switzerland. I also flew my father in, and I just want to say to all the people who flew in from places, unbelievable. Thank you for the support. It was amazing. It is amazing. I love all of you very much. So Sasha Mateo actually stayed
she
here
does
in
look
my house
skinny.
right here
I
in
agree.
this room for an entire month, which is unbelievable. Friendship level on 500, 5,000, 5 million,
But see,
whatever. But they all...
She's not talking about them like they're not friends anymore, you know? Hey, Daniel, thanks for joining. She's talking about, like, she's literally like, I got diagnosed with cancer and they stayed with me for a month. But my point is that, like, up until that point, like, they were together all the time. Constantly. And now we never see them anymore. They were there for a month and then they bounced. Like, I don't know. And then she's also, like, talking about them, like, friendship levels over 9,000. So, I guess they're still friends, but, like, why aren't they around anymore? You would think they would be around for this kind of stuff if they're that close, but...
also went with me to all of my appointments. So they went to each of the appointments that I was referencing in regards to the CT scan. Mateo was there, or when I went to surgery, of course, or when I went to an oncologist, etc. They went to all these appointments with me too. And so when we first went to Texas Oncology, I met with Dr. Stone. Nothing bad to say about Dr. Stone. Please listen to this. I prepped with the Chris beat cancer questions.
Okay, she definitely said Chris beat cancer on that one. Not crispy cancer. But now that we know that, it makes sense. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that Chris beat cancer guy. Like I was telling you guys, like I want to do more documentary style stuff. That might be an interesting thing to dive into. I have to look further into it. Sounds like a freaking scammer. Yeah. Wow. Wonder if it's a visa passport issue. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if because you can overstay, like, I think if you don't have, like, like, if you're not a U.S. resident, can't you stay for, like, 5 months or something out of the year, but then you have to be gone for the rest of the time? Maybe it is something like that. I could be wrong about that, though. I'm not sure. No, it's Chris beat cancer. Chris beat cancer. It's like Chuck E. Cheese. Chris beat cancer. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Maybe they want to keep her visa to visit for when she's at her worst. I mean, I don't want to make that kind of assumption, but back to Chris beat cancer for the news. Oh, no. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of people overstay their visa or whatever, but I don't know. My eyes are watering.
So he has a list of questions that you should ask your oncologist, and it's things that... I'll just pull this up so you can look at all of them while I'm talking about them. Okay.
Ooh, here we go. Square one, 20 questions for your oncologist. This section includes the list of questions followed by the 20 questions audio guide. Yikes. Okay. You don't have to ask all the questions. Copy the questions that you want to use on a notepad or tablet and take to your doctor's appointment. Ask the permission to record the conversation with your doctor on the phone for future reference. The questions. Diagnosis questions. What is my diagnosis? What kind of cancer do I have? Sure, those two things seem important. Is this a fast-growing or slow-growing cancer? How long has it been growing in my body? Well, how are they supposed to know that? Well, I mean, I guess you could guess based on the size of tumors, but like sometimes tumors growth slows down and sometimes it grows out of control. Like, I guess you can only guess if you're just finding it, you know. What do you think caused my cancer? Do you think my diet, pollution, or stress had anything to do with it, or was it genetic? What you guys are telling me is that all cancer is a genetic mutation. That's what I was reading in the chat. Is that true? Do I have that right, or is that incorrect? I don't know. Anyway, treatment questions. What treatments do you recommend? Now, see, look, she like starred some of these. She used a highlighter and put a star next to what treatments do you recommend. Now, she ended up going to, what is that, MD Anderson, I think is what that place is called. And so she went and asked them these questions and then didn't like the answers she gave them and then like talked all this shit about MD Anderson. I think she called them, what was it, not chemo thugs, I've been researching Steven Crowder, because I'm probably gonna make a deep dive on him because he's fucking fascinating. Anyway, yeah, union thugs, union thugs, if you know, not thugs, what is it? She's essentially saying that they're just trying to sell cancer treatments to her. They're trying to sell her chemo. And then that's why she ended up going to whatever holistic doctor she's going to see now. You can have genes that can make you more likely to develop cancer. The cancer cell line will have more mutations that cause unregulated growth. Chemo pimps, that's what she said. Ah! Fuck, yeah. She called them chemo pimps. Yikes. Oh, thank you, B. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, so she goes in with this paper and she's like, hey, doc, what treatment do you recommend? At MD Anderson, like one of the top cancer treatment centers in the country or maybe even the world, and they give her a recommendation and she's like, I don't like that. Then why do you even bother asking? Anyway, okay. What are the drugs you're going to use for treatment? Are there any other drugs I might have to take? Can I get a list of all the drugs that will be involved in my treatment? I mean, I think those things are fair. Yeah, you have every right to know those things. But I almost feel like the reason you'd be asking these questions is that you can go, like, read some crunchy, holistic blogs, some crispy cancer blogs, and do your own research, which is never a good idea for medical shit. What are the short-term side effects of these drugs? What are the long-term side effects of these drugs? Now, notice she didn't put a star here, and I think because she's expecting, like, she's like, I'm not going to take any drugs. This is before she went into MD Anderson. This is what she brought in. And she doesn't star those to be like, these are the questions I'm going to ask. Because she was expecting to get a stage 4 cancer diagnosis and not take any drugs. It seems like she had her mind made up beforehand, you know? Before even talking to the doctors. I might just be making assumptions and stuff, but like, that's a red flag to me. Do any of these drugs have life-threatening side effects? Okay, so she did star that. So she's, okay, here's what I'm getting from this. She's expecting the doctors at MD Anderson to say, these are the treatments that you're gonna need. And she doesn't care about what the drugs are or the side effects because she doesn't plan on taking them, but she wants to know what the life-threatening side effects are. Okay. How old are the drugs that you recommend? How long have they been around? I don't see how that's relevant. If that's what we have to treat the cancer and that's the only thing we know of that works, even if it's been around for a bazillion years, then why does it matter how old they are? I don't know. Is this treatment curative or palliative? Is that how you say that word? I mean, you can't cure cancer, you know? You can have surgery to remove the cancer, but like, I don't know. What does palliative mean? Like, keeping it, like, stabilizing it so it doesn't grow more? I don't know. I need to stop asking these questions out loud because now everyone's just going to think I'm an idiot, which I am.
Okay, these questions you should be able to ask your oncologist, and if your oncologist makes you feel weird for asking them, I think it's weird of them. So I ask questions like, if
That's true. Okay, here's more questions here. Also, Hannah, this is good. Will the drugs have life-threatening side effects? Ma'am, you have stage 4 cancer. Exactly. It's like, your diagnosis is life-threatening, dude. So, yeah. I'm just curious to know how much money you are... This is too far. Like, all the other questions up until this point have been pretty like, okay, yeah, I see why you would ask that. I'm just curious to know how much money you're making off of me as a patient. I read somewhere on the Crispy Cancer blog that private practice oncologists buy chemotherapy drugs at wholesale and bill patients or their insurance company at a marked up price. Is that true? Now, I don't know how that kind of stuff works, but it sounds... I mean, that sounds right. Like, you have to buy the drugs from the drug companies. And let's be honest, dude, like, as much as I don't agree with it, the American healthcare system is a for-profit system. So, like, it's kind of a rhetorical question. It's like, yeah, duh, I'm making money off of you. It's rude to be like, hey, how much though? T-Court, thank you for gifting 50 freaking memberships. Here we go!
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you. Wow. Palliative is not curative. The goal of the treatment is to diminish suffering. Oh, okay, gotcha. Wow, I love the Pop-Tart parties. Look at all of this. Wow. The problem isn't medicine, it's capitalism. Yeah. I agree. Although most of these crunchy people would disagree, so they just want to keep you sick. That's what they always say. Please. Yeah, I think that's a ridiculous conspiracy theory, but that's just my opinion. Is it true that you make a profit on the chemotherapy drugs you prescribe, in that some have higher profit margins than others? I mean, probably, right? Like, you would think. I mean, and again, just like we were just saying, like, the issue is not the drugs. It's like, I'm sorry, who cares? Like, especially if you have health insurance and it's just gonna be billed through and covered by your insurance in the first place. Why do you care how much money somebody else is making if those drugs are going to help you? If those drugs are going to save your fucking life, why do you care how much the doctor prescribing them to you is making? Why does that matter? Like, I understand if you don't trust big pharma, and you don't trust the Western medicine, blah, 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 modern medicine, all those. If you don't trust those things, then I can see why you feel like this is almost like you go into a doctor's office and you're asking these questions just to be like, what of it? Like, to be confrontational. You're not the one, like, that. Again, there's a time and a place for this stuff, okay? Right now, you have stage 4 cancer. You have stage 4 cancer. Despite how much money this doctor is profiting, it's their job. They're a doctor. Like, what else do you expect the doctors to do? Just tell you, like, I could give you all this help, but I have an ethical issue because then I would make money. It's like, but you're at your job. Yeah, this is your job. You make money at a job. Hello? I'm sure, listen, I'm sure that there are doctors out there who do play the system in this way. To me, though, like, because I've been on some prescription medications and stuff, and I've never once had to ask for a generic. You know, they just automatically do that because it's cheaper. Like, as far as profit goes, they probably would make more money. Like, the pharmacies and stuff would probably make more money if they were not buying the generic brands, like buying the name brands and stuff. So, like, I take sertraline instead of Zoloft. I'm sure Zoloft would cost more. But, like, they just, and this is obviously just my experience, but, like, I never have to ask for that. Like, hey, give me, it's not like you're going to a bar and you're like, give me a vodka cranberry. And they're like, do you want our top shelf or our well? Like, it's not that. You know what I mean? I feel like most doctors, and I say most because I'm sure that there are people out there who do play the system, whatever. It sucks and it's unethical. But I think for the most part, doctors just, like, they care about the well-being of the patient. Oh, yeah, she's absolutely against universal health care. Exactly, Hannah. You're telling me that you're making money off of providing me a service. And, again, I don't... Hey, DC. We just got raided by DC. What's up? We love DC. Oh, I'm just out here complaining about Jessie Lee Ward and her cancer bullshit. What was I just saying? I don't know. I feel like doctors in general, like most doctors, like, you don't go into the medical field and pursue it that long. Because, like, to be a doctor, you have to be in medical school for a long-ass time. yeah, you make a lot of money off of being a doctor, but like, I feel like for the most part, you have to want to help people to be a doctor. Most people aren't going to go through like 15 years of medical school or however much it is to become a doctor just for the money, because like you work long hours, you see some sad fucked up shit. Like, I think most people aren't really cut out for that. Anyway, oh, the insurance companies usually decide whether you get generic drugs or not. That makes sense, actually, from a profit perspective. Okay, yeah, that does make sense. I love that she thinks that a physician making a profit completely invalidates any of their recommendations. Yeah, yeah. You guys put things into words better than I ever could, but that's basically what I'm saying. It's just like, it's almost like, okay, so Taylor from the Antibot, love her. She's a fellow creator. I was just talking to her today because she has a septum piercing. And she was talking about it on her stream, say, like, I guess some guy commented, or not on her stream, on her Instagram stories. Some guy commented on her shit and was just like, your nose ring is so ugly, like, I don't care about what's coming out of your mouth. Like, that kind of thing. Like, IZ Hub, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Okay, don't let me forget I'm talking about Taylor and her nose ring. Okay.
It's a pop tart party right now. Look at all the pop tarts in here. Everybody has a pop tart by their icon. Hey, more pop tarts in the chat.
Thank you. Taylor and her nose ring. She made a Instagram story that was basically like, why just because I have a nose ring that you think is ugly, now suddenly you don't care about anything that I'm like, the substance of the things that are coming out of my mouth, basically. You know what I'm saying? It almost is like the same thing. It's like, oh, you're making money off of being my doctor? Oh, suddenly, because you're making money from your profession, I can't trust anything you're saying now. I just, it's a lot. When scammers don't want to get scammed, but it's not a scam though. Like, they're putting the scam label on something that's absolutely not a scam. I don't know. Time for somewhat history lore. Nose piercings have existed for a long time, centuries, and thought to be beautiful. Dude, I want a septum piercing really bad. But I'm like really bad with piercings, so I can get tattoos all day long, but like piercings, I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Yeah, that was a child screaming in the background, sorry. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the Pop-Tart song. Okay, so, okay, so we didn't even finish reading these fucking questions. Oh my god. I went off on too long of a tangent about this stupid fucking little block of questions here. Like, are you why does it matter? Okay, sorry. Final questions. If I decide to undergo treatment, will I be able to call you if I have questions after hours? I mean, isn't that normal for doctors? You know? I would like to take some time to change my life. Would that be possible? How much time do I have to do this? So, suggesting that if they change their lifestyle, that maybe that's enough treatment for them. I think that's a valid question. But, like, don't go into it expecting that to be the answer to curing your cancer, you know? How much time do I have to do this is basically, like, how long can I go without doing chemotherapy before I can't do chemotherapy anymore? Which is dangerous. Like, maybe don't make that your treatment plan. Is it possible for the body to heal itself of cancer? The way I understand cancer is that a cell, like, mutates, and then it keeps dividing and growing. Like, and that's what cells do. They divide and they grow. Like, that's how our skin reproduces. That's how our hair grows. That's how our nails grow. It's just constantly splitting and reproducing, and that's how, yeah, that's how it works. So, and maybe it's just because I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But to me, it's like, if the only way to stop cancer, to heal yourself of cancer, is to either stop that cell growth or to remove it completely, then that doesn't sound like something the body, you can't just convince the body to stop replicating cells that are naturally replicating. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So we do have cells that eat cancer cells inside of us. However, this doesn't work on all cancers. Okay. My dad's doctor didn't want him waiting an extra week to go inpatient for his leukemia. Right. Yeah, like, I think any doctor who would see, especially someone with fucking stage 4 cancer, like, I feel like it's pretty, like, standard for them to be like, let's just not wait at all. The sooner we get this shit taken care of, the better. Sorry, I'm reading your guys' shit. Technically, you constantly have cancerous cells, but your body kills them off before actual cancer begins to form and spread. But otherwise, you can't just heal. Does she sell her MLM stuff at the markup prices? Yes. She does, in fact. And this would be the perfect place to bring this up. You know why? Because she already brought up her pure therapeutic ketones in this video. I mean, there's immunotherapy for some cancers, but that's still a medicine making your immune system target the cancer cells. Right, so, like, so your body, like, needs help doing that. Like, it doesn't just, you can't just, like, think really hard about it, and then, like, you can't just manifest that your body's gonna start fighting off a tumor and shrinking it without any intervention. Anyway, I heard tumors go away on their own. I think some people are genetically more resistant to cancer. Yeah, I think that's the thing, too. I mean, not every tumor goes away on its own, dude. Like, maybe some. I don't know. Anyway, okay, what else do we have? How much time do I have to think about all this and make my decision? I guess, yeah, that's a valid question. Is it possible for the body to heal itself? Oh, did I already read these? Yes, I did. If I decide not to do treatment, in order to enjoy the time I have left, will you support me with periodic blood tests and scans? I don't know what the right answer to that would be from a doctor, from a medical perspective, you know? Because, like, I feel like it would be, like, an ethical responsibility for a doctor to be like, no, this is the treatment you need, and if you won't get it, then I won't treat you at all. Because then it's almost like they're enabling someone slowly dying of cancer to death. Dying to death. Someone dying to death. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I don't know. Can I get a copy of my medical records before I leave today? Sure, that's fair also. Stage 4 is no time to waste, exactly. But sometimes that does happen. The body and mind are wild. I mean, if we're talking sometimes, it's probably a, like, 1 in a million thing, right? I don't think it's very common for the body to just have cancer and then suddenly doesn't have cancer anymore. Anyway, she's probably trying to recruit the doctor when he turned her down. Oh, I guarantee she did. Yeah, sure. Okay, tumors probably have gone away on their own in some people, but, like, it's pretty well known that cancer is generally a quick, I mean, I guess some cancers are worse than others, but tumor growth can be really fast and rapid. I think that's a pretty well-known characteristic of most tumors, but also some tumors aren't cancerous. Some of them are just benign, so I don't know. Okay. Oh, I don't think they can refuse you treatment. That's a good point. Yeah, stage 4 doesn't heal yourself, because then at that point it's spread. Okay, let's see what, sorry, like, that was such a long tangent. Okay.
If I do this chemotherapy, you know, well, I'll back it up. Hold on. So, okay, I'll just say it. So I ask questions like, if I do this chemotherapy, then, you know, does it matter what I eat? Just to see what they say. If they say, oh yeah, eat your ice cream, eat your pizza, eat whatever. Okay? Asking questions like, do you make money off of this? Asking questions like, if I decline chemotherapy and radiation and standard of care, will you still give me medical care if I need it? Will you still do follow-up scans for me? Will you...
Like, if we put this in another perspective, like, if you go to fucking Cold Stone and you're like, hi, I would like a like-it-sized vanilla with sprinkles or whatever the fuck. And you're like, but wait, before you do that, though, are you going to make money if you do this? No, I'm just here for fun. Like, I know, like, cold stone isn't cancer, but, like, it sounds so ridiculous if you do it in, like, a retail or a food setting or something like that, but suddenly, like, it's totally okay to do that to doctors? That's their job, too. They get paid. That is their job. They're not there treating people and, like, oh, no, doing surgery on people just for fun. Like, they are getting paid for it. It's just so ridiculous.
Still be my practicing oncologist. A lot of really good questions. I really recommend this. You are the patient. I said this in my first video. You need to take your time and find doctors that you trust. And I'm going to get into something very crazy in just a minute here. So, this is weird. So I have surgery. Pathology takes about 3 weeks to come back, which is standard. The night before my meeting with Dr. Stone, my oncologist, not my phone rings, not the shepherd's phone rings, not Aviram's phone, my boyfriend's phone rings. My third emergency contact gets a phone call. That is Carissa. That is my personal assistant. She is amazing. She gets a phone call in the middle of the night from the surgeon. The surgeon says, I don't think she's taking this seriously. You need to make sure she knows how serious this is, because if she does not if she does not do what we are saying to do and do it aggressively, she will not see Christmas. She will be dead by Christmas.
Okay, that's fucking sad. My question is, Jessie Lee, what did you say to that doctor to make them feel like they can't approach you personally with this information? They felt like you would explode at them or you would freak out or, you know, something like that. They thought that it would be an issue if they brought it up to you. So they had to go call the lowest contact of yours because, like, clearly you're not the closest to them. I mean, you're on their emergency contact list, so of course you're, like, important to them. But, like, you're not number one, right? Jessie, what the fuck did you do or say to your oncologist to make him feel like he couldn't say this to you? Like, if she had been in the office, just kind of been like, okay, yeah, let's do what we gotta do, you know, like, I'm perceptive to this stuff. Like, he wouldn't have had to do that. Like, she must have been very defiant. You know what I mean? It almost seems like they care. They care, but it's like, but they couldn't say that to Jessie. They already gave her a prognosis. She already knew. Anyway.
So the next day I get a text from my, at the time, she's gone, executive assistant and my personal assistant, and it says, we need to meet with Mark at 11 a.m. And I'm like, Mark? I'm thinking someone's quitting. I'm thinking someone's fighting me. I'm thinking there's something dramatic because Mark is my lawyer I have on retainer.
She called the doctor a hater. No, she called him a chemo pimp.
I'm kind of panicking. I texted Mark and I said, am I walking into an ambush? He didn't respond.
Do you know any divorce lawyers in California? Wait a minute. You think she left that in there on purpose? Like, that has to be about Aviram. Who the fuck is Mark? Why is this not registering? Not directly, but I can reach out to network. Where in California, LA area, am I being ambushed? Why would you share this screenshot specifically? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this doesn't really give much, and it's not even a full, like, screenshot of a full entire phone. Like, she cropped it already. Why not just crop out, I don't know, scroll up, Photoshop it if you have to, and just show, I texted Mark, am I being ambushed? Jessie, what in the fuck? Oh, Mark is her lawyer. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, okay, yeah. Which would make sense, why? Because she lives in Texas or whatever, but Avi Ram's family that he abandoned lived in California. Wow. She makes it so hard to feel bad for her. Yeah, like that. It just doesn't make sense. Like, contextually, we know that she's showing pictures and, like, screenshots and stuff to back up her cancer journey or whatever, but why the fuck do you have, why the fuck do you have this screenshot? And why would you share it here? Like, it's unnecessary. That's a very deliberately cropped image. Right! Damn. Oh, hi, Clown Town. Happy to see you. Oh, and Tish is here too. She really does love telling on herself. No, but like, I don't think she sees it as that. I think she sees it as she's like getting a one-up on Yehudis, you know? She knows how to blur things. We'll see that in a minute. Oh, fuck, really? Because, like, okay, yeah. I, like, had this going while I was working on other stuff earlier today. But I didn't look at this screenshot. Like, I wasn't looking at the screen when this screenshot popped up. Or probably any of it. I probably wasn't watching most of it, just listening. She's doing it to be malicious, which is what she's done the entire time. Right. Yeah, because if that's deliberate, like, that is a serious bitch move. And I'm supposed to feel bad for this person. Ugh. I think you can feel bad for someone in one way, but also, like, be angry at them in another. You know what I mean? Like, her divorce situation, well, not her, Avi Ram's divorce situation and Jessie Lee's cancer diagnosis are two separate issues. So yeah, I feel bad about her cancer, but I don't feel bad that she's being fucking dangerous all over the place on the internet and spreading this kind of shit. And I also don't feel bad that she started pitching Prove It at the beginning of this video, and now here she is basically trying to make Yehudis look like just to get a one-up on her and be like, haha, I'm dating your husband, ha ha ha. Like, it seems really rude and malicious. Yeah, mean girl energy for sure. It's a flex. Yeah. Bye, Sheila. Thanks for being here. Ravenous medicine. It's sad that she has cancer. It's also sad that she sucks. Yes. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. This is why people don't understand two things can be true at once. I feel bad for the diagnosis. However, this is how you act. It's sad. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Subtle flex. She has a lawyer ready to go at all times. That too. Yeah. Yeah.
Respond. I walk into the room. Two assistants are sitting there. Mark's sitting here. I walk in. I'm like, what?
Okay, here she is texting Avi. Oh, yeah. Blur. Look at that. That's a freaking blur. Do I have this? Oh, shit. I've had this cut off a little bit this whole time. Sorry. Yeah, look at that. It seems as though she knows how to blur things. Wow. That is so wild. Holy shit. Anyway, love you too. Carissa just ambushed me with my blank. What? Why would... And again, we know that you can crop an image, so, like, why, like, crop right here. You know what? You know what Photoshop can do? You can cut this entire portion out. I mean, we know you know how to crop, so that's wild. Anyway, be back soon. Very weird. No idea what she wants. Avi says, LOL, okay, I'm sure it's not bad. Let me know. It was a medical thing. They called her last night, and they said if I don't get aggressive with treatment, I won't make it till Christmas. Wow, very hard to hear. When are you going to see Chase? Who's Chase? Is that must be like one of her, like alternative medicine doctors? I don't know. There's too many names here that I'm like having a hard time following. I'm landing soon. I'll call as right as I land. I don't want to talk. Which also, like, I understand not wanting to talk, but like, if you don't want to talk about it, then why bring it up? It's almost like she brings that up to Avi for sympathy, but also that's your, like, supposedly your other half that you're so in love with or whatever. If you're going to talk to anyone about it, it should be him. And also, this seems like something you wouldn't want to keep the love of your life in the dark about. Like, as much as you don't want to talk about it, I don't know. I feel like that's a really dick move on her end, too. But maybe that's just, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk. Then don't bring it up. Like, I don't know. It's almost like when someone texts you and they're like, we need to talk. And then you're like, oh shit, what? And then they don't text you back for like 3 hours. It's like, why would you text me? Now I'm like sitting here like just wishing that like, just tell me what the problem is instead of just, I don't know. Why do you do this?
What's up, guys? Hey, I sit down That's when Carissa says
Oh,
that to
she's
me.
a woo doctor.
So
okay.
in the same time, Mark goes, so we're done with anything that causes Jessie Lee stress. We're done with her having to do all this work. We're done with her having to be the one who carries all.
Okay, then why the fuck are you, like, constantly still, like, doing your Prove It live packing and, like, being on your feet and packing all these packages and shit? Like, and then she goes on Facebook Live or whatever live, and she's constantly blocking people and, like, reading mean comments and shit. Like, why do you do that? You are putting yourself in stressful situations. Like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna go live stream on the internet, that is a stressful situation. Hi. Not with you guys. You guys are great. But if you're Jessie Lee and you have so many people who are so critical of you, and you know, historically, people who don't agree with you are going to show up in your live chats and send you every single comment under the sun. Why would you put yourself in that situation? Why are you doing that? If you're trying to cut stress out of your life, then why are you doing that? Among other things, why are you on the internet? Stay off the internet. The internet, by nature, is a stressful thing. It is a stressful place to be. Jessie Lee, turn off your phone, focus on yourself. The internet is stress, period. Like, come on.
Load. And I'm saying this to any cancer patients. Stop living the same life that you've been living and expecting different results. I talk about it all the time in business. Stop doing the same things that you're doing and expecting different results.
But you're doing that, though. You're still doing your MLM Prove It shit. Not only is she still doing that, she took on a new job at Prove It Corporate. Not only is she doing the same shit, she took on even more. She piled more shit on. I'm pretty sure being a vice president of whatever it is she does in Prove It is probably gonna be stressful in one way or another. I can't.
No different in your health journey. You have to change your whole life. In that moment, I said, no stressors, none of this stuff. And have there been stressors? God, yes.
Duh.
Okay? But the things I can control, like sitting here, literally working for 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6 even hour days, I don't do that. Constantly feeling like I have to post or I have to be on live or I have to do stuff doesn't happen.
Okay, but you still do it. I guess maybe she's saying, oh, well, I got rid of the feeling that I had to do those things, but I still do it. Jessie, you go live while you're putting coffee up your butthole, dude. You go live while you do your coffee enemas. Like, you can absolutely cut that out of your life. You don't have to be doing that. But you do it. What?
If I feel like chilling the whole day and then showing up and doing a YouTube video after I do my hair, that's when I'm going to do it. And it was in that moment where he just said, you guys need to be all Jessie Lee. You need to help her. She needs your help. And it was kind of in that moment where, well, then I cried in Mark's arms, which I have been the tough biatch. He has been my lawyer for 6 years. We have won a lot of cases together. He is aggressive. He only really sees Boss Lee. And in that moment, he got Jessie Lee. I'm crying in his arms because that's the first I've heard. I was told my prognosis is dead by Christmas.
Yeah, that's understandable, but it is pretty weird that you're crying in the arms of your lawyer. That's a little too close of a relationship to have with your lawyer. It's almost like you guys have been through so much together. Jessie, why do you have so many legal issues that you know your lawyer on such a personal level that you will cry in his arms? Like, that's weird.
So the next day, I go to this appointment with Dr. Stone. And like I said, I was prepped, and this is crazy. I walk in, I'm on the little table thing, when you go to the doctor. Dr. Stone's sitting right here, Mateo and Sasha are sitting right here. Everything's normal, he's talking about everything. He says, ooh, pathology's back, 26 of 30 lymph nodes have cancer in them. I don't know if it's gone anywhere else yet, but we're gonna find out when we order you a PET scan. Oh, actually, I said I wanted a PET scan, there was no PET scan ordered. We'll find out if it's anywhere else. Right now, we know it might be, it's at least metastasized somewhere in here, so we're looking at least stage 3. I said, okay. He said, here's what we need to do. He said, standard of care is 12 rounds of chemo. This is 6 months of a full Fox protocol. I said, okay, and what does that mean? He's talking me through all this. I talk about side effects. I talk about whatever.
Okay, let's remember this part because she literally just said, he's talking me through all this. He's talking me through the side effects. Like, okay, so it's not like your doctor was just like, because I feel like at one point, like when she was first talking about her MD Anderson experience and how much she like was just so unhappy with it or whatever, she made it sound like the doctor like came in and was like, you're gonna be dead in a few months. Bye. But now she's like, oh, he was talking me through everything. Okay, so back to it.
And then he could, I mean, it was very obvious I wasn't really convinced. It was obvious, I think, to everyone in the room, hey, I'm going to be one of these people who wants to weigh my options. I've got these questions with me, etc. And then my phone rings, and it's my surgeon. And I pick up, and I don't put phones near my head. I don't know. I'm kind of like one of those weird, like, you know, EMF people. And so I put it on speakerphone. I said, hello? I said, oh, it's a surgeon. Can I pick up? He said, yeah, of course. I said, hello? Or I said, sorry, it's a medical call. Can I pick up? He said, yeah. Hello? He says, hey, I just want to call, see how you're doing. And I said, no, I'm doing great. Remember, I'm 3 weeks post-op. He said, you feel good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm up and around. I'm feeling good, you know, moving, doing things, you know, whatever. And then, like clockwork. And I'm not saying, I mean, maybe it's a coincidence that he called in the middle of my appointment. Dr. Stone, who nothing against him, goes, hey, Dr. Mack, is that you? I recognize that voice. He goes, yeah, man, what's up? And he said, oh, we're just talking with Jessie Lee about her chemotherapy options. And I look over at Sasha Mateo like, have you ever felt like sometimes it's almost like your soul detaches from your body and you're up here in the sky looking down on everything and you say to yourself, Jessie Lee, or whatever your name is, Jessie Lee, look at the big picture. You're getting sold.
Yeah, welcome to the American healthcare system. Like, don't act surprised. Anyway, so what she's suggesting is that, like, there's this conspiracy that her doctor was like, hey, surgeon, cancer surgeon boy, or, I don't know, whatever, I don't know. She had parts of her intestines removed. Hey, Jessie Lee has an appointment at 7:30 in the morning on this date. I'm going to need you to call me while she's in my office, while I am also in the office with her. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a doctor in America, but they're not always on time. Like, you can't, unless he texted the doctor or the surgeon, like, right, like, I'm about to walk into Jessie's suite to talk. Like, you can't, doctors get so busy, and then they get, like, pulled in all these different directions and they're not always on schedule. Like, I think that's pretty common, especially surgeons too. Surgeons have their surgeries scheduled for weeks, if not months in advance sometimes, depending on what kind of surgeries they do. I feel like it would be absolutely impossible to schedule something like this. You know what I'm saying? She's suggesting that, like, oh yeah, he did this so he could convince me to get chemo or whatever. So he could also essentially be in the room while I was at my doctor's appointment. It's like, I honestly, and while there's a chance that she's right, I think the more likely scenario here is that it was in fact a coincidence. Maybe, just maybe. Like, doctors and surgeons don't have time to coordinate that kind of shit. And hey, guess what, Jessie? You're not the only patient of theirs. They have a bazillion different patients that they probably do both see. They can't do this for one person, let alone all of them. I don't know. But something tells me that it was a coincidence. But okay. Okay. She's like, I'm being sold to right now. Yeah, you're a QAnoner, Jessie. Like, you vote for politicians who believe in a privatized medical system. Like, what do you expect? You can't sit here and complain about how our healthcare system is tied so heavily into capitalism, into literally like a for-profit system, and then vote for the people who do that. Like, I can't with these people.
There was a phone call the night before. The perfect setup inside of the doctor's room. As soon as he walked out and he handed me some paperwork for it or whatever, I look at the two of them, Sasha and Mateo, and we're all at the same time like, and I'm not, I mean, whatever, you believe what you want to believe. This is not an anti-chemo, anti-whatever, no, okay?
Yes, it is.
I hang up the phone, he comes back in, and he goes, you're also a really good candidate for a custom vaccine. I said, yeah? He goes, we'll have to look at the gene mutations and everything like that, but I think a custom vaccine could work really, really well for you. I said, why don't we do a custom vaccine? And he said, well, we will, after you do chemo. I said, but why would we wait until after my immune system is completely ravaged, all my good cells are dead and my bad cells, before we do a custom vaccine? He goes, I don't know. That's just how it works.
You're trying to tell me that you asked a doctor why something is done in a certain way, and his answer was, I don't know? Medical school? Who? I don't know. This is my job. I'm an oncologist, but I don't know why I do the things I do. I feel like we're missing context in that particular conversation there. Maybe ultimately, like, he was responding to something else she said. Like, I don't know. That's just how they do it, Jessie. Like, stop asking questions too. I mean, like, asking questions is fine, I guess. I don't believe that you're asking questions to a doctor regarding, like, the most basic shit that they do on a daily basis, and they're like, I don't know. Especially at MD Anderson, like, please. There's no fucking way. Like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. Or at least it didn't happen that way. Was I there? She likes to ask us that whenever we try to make assumptions like this. Well, were you there? Were you on the Columbia trip? Were you in the doctor's office with me? No. But I think I'm a resident of reality. And personally, I don't think that sounds like something that happened. I don't know. A dumpster pool planetoid says, because the custom vaccine gives your blank slate new, barely there immune system the blueprints it needs to build itself back in a way that'll attack your cancer cells. Is that how it works? I don't know. I had never even heard of a custom vaccine. I didn't know that was a thing. But science is cool, man. That's great that they can do that. But if it's that simple, listen, I'm sorry, no offense, but like, you're a commenter in a YouTube chat and you have an explanation for that, I'm pretty sure the oncologist who does this for a living every single day has an answer for it. Oh, Becca, that's a good point. Also, if you do vax first, wouldn't the chemo wipe out your immune response? Yeah. Like, I'm not a medical professional, and I'm pretty sure I understand that being, like, part of the way vaccines work. Is that it, like, yeah, it trains your immune system to know how to fight. Yeah, so if you kill off the entire immune system, then it's like, it was pointless in the first place. Oh, my God. Vaxes take time you don't have? Huh? Am I, like, misinterpreting what you're saying? Vaxes take time you don't have. Are you saying, like, Jessie Lee doesn't have enough time to develop a custom vaccine? That could be possible. Doctor probably said, because that's not how it works. Right, yeah, it was probably something along that, yeah. I don't want to be reaching, but if she actually believes that doctors are out to get her, could be a symptom of paranoia as someone who suffers from these types of thoughts that people are out to get you. Well, I think that comes along with the territory of these, like, anti-big pharma, big anti-vax, like, you know, these people. I think that's a very common paranoia to have. They believe that, yeah, big pharma is just out for your money, when instead of considering that, like, yes, doctors get paid to give you pharmaceuticals, but they're not giving you pharmaceuticals, like, not caring if they're going to help you or not, just so that they get paid. No, like, they're giving you stuff that's going to help you, and they're going to get paid for it, you know? But I think that's part of the equation that they don't think about. They're just like, oh, no, you only care about money. No, they're a doctor, you're a patient, you're there to receive treatment for, in Jessie's case, stage 4 colon cancer? I personally believe that most people are good people, and that includes doctors. Are there some bad apples out there? Yes. But in my opinion, I think that most people are not shitty enough to go through all that time in medical school just to like prescribe the most expensive shit to make the most money. Also, Alice, thank you for gifting 10 memberships.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you. And yes, I agree. This woman is absolutely exhausting. I mean, I don't even know how far we've gotten into this video. I don't know how much more we have left. But all I've been doing is bitching basically the past hour and a half. So, oh, ploop toots, love that. We're less than halfway through. Holy shit. Okay.
So we walked out, and that was March 17th. And the next appointment was March 21st with Dr. Smithson at the Costanzas Institute. This is integrative oncology, and it was a 2-hour super thorough appointment.
Isn't integrative, like integrative medicine, she says integrative oncology, isn't that, integrative is like, I don't want to say pseudoscience, but isn't it one of those, that's when you start getting into woo stuff? So now, we're one sentence in, and she's all like, yeah, it was super thorough, and like she's already talking them up over MD Anderson. I can't.
Did some blood work, and just had a conversation about everything. This is where I learned for the first time about ozone, about, it's not really true, I'll talk about that in a minute, but more about ozone, about vitamin C, about curcumin and turmeric, about frankincense, about colloidal silver, about, I mean, just a lot. And we still didn't know where I was staged because my PET scan was not until, y'all know I got the receipts, okay? My PET scan was not until the 24th. So on the 21st, we still didn't have any kind of staging or anything like this. And I thought it was super professional. I really liked my experience there. Unfortunately, 2 weeks.
Yeah, because they were telling you all the shit you wanted to hear at this point. Like, I'm sorry, if you're going somewhere for a cancer diagnosis, to go in there, to walk in there just expecting the doctor to tell you all the things, oh, you're fine, it's not a big deal. It's stage 4 colon cancer, Jessie. Like, at a certain point, you have to expect that you're going to hear things that you don't want to hear. Really, seriously, yes, also, whoever it was in the chat who said, Haley, colloidal silver is poison, don't take it orally. Yeah, I saw that, was it Oprah? Or was it Dr. Phil? It might have been Dr. Phil, that guy who, like, was taking it a lot, and then he ended up turning blue. Yeah, don't do that. Integrative is supposed to be a combination of holistic and Western. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so she also said frankincense, everybody. Don't forget frankincense. Get those essential oils.
After my experience at the Costanzas Institute, my doctor quit or retired. Or the doctor I was going to.
Are we sure he didn't quit because he's just like, I can't handle this woman, I'm done? That's a joke. But it seems to be like she's really just giving every doctor, every medical professional that she encounters, she's just really giving them a hard time just for doing their job.
He's retired, so I was no longer able to use him. In the meantime, I also met with Dr. Chase Baldmo. I learned a lot about some energetic stuff that's going on. We did some cleansing, some clearing, some frequencies and things like this. You could check him out. He's amazing as well.
I'm sorry. He has biohacks for life in his Instagram bio. That's gonna be a red flag, hell no, from me. Yeah, no, thank you. Hashtag no limit to healing. Actually, I do think there are limits to that. Am I a doctor? No. But I'm pretty sure that there are limits to healing. Like, what? Why would... One look at this Instagram page and it's just like, yeah, no, I'm not fucking with that. This guy's a quack. Like, immediately.
and I just felt energetically good.
Yeah,
you know,
please
I started
don't check them
surrounding
out.
myself with people who told me that chemotherapy is not the only route this could go. And for people that are going through something like this, even that little bit of encouragement can be what you need to keep you on the path where you're reminding yourself constantly, you got this, you got this, I don't even know what it means, you got this. I don't know, but sometimes it's just good to hear it.
That's fine. You can do that and also do chemo. Just a thought. You can tell yourself that, look in the mirror and tell yourself that every day, and also not ignore the treatment recommendations from your oncologist. Like, maybe it's just me, but I'm pretty sure the two aren't exclusive.
So that's what that was. So that was the 21st. I loved my experience at the Costanzas Institute. I do recommend it. I did not work with them though, because like I said, the doctor that I was working with decided to retire, okay? So on the 22nd, the day after, is when I had my first inpatient call with MD Anderson. And let me tell you how flippin' happy I was. You guys had messaged me everywhere. I had messages on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, messages on my podcast, emails from people saying, go to MD Anderson, go to MD Anderson, MD Anderson's the best, Sloan Kettering, MD Anderson, Sloan Kettering, MD, like everything. So I applied at every hospital. I felt like I was trying to get into college again.
Okay, so everything she's been talking about up until this point has been like traditional doctors and oncologists, not MD Anderson. I mean, I already know that she's probably gonna, excuse me, she's probably gonna talk about it and let us know how bad of an experience she had with MD Anderson, because she already has all over her social media. I was thinking she was talking about MD Anderson this whole time. No, we haven't even gotten there yet. Oh my God.
Okay, applying to all these hospitals, and not getting accepted, right? So MD Anderson, same thing. It was you have to know someone to get in. Luckily, I was able to find someone who did know somebody.
Dude, MD Anderson is not Harvard, you know? MD Anderson is not Yale. Like, you don't need to have, like, you don't have to have the legacy or whatever, legacy admissions. Like, I think probably all you need would be, if I had to guess, a referral from an actual doctor. SE Nighttime, thank you for the dono. Denial ain't just a river in Egypt. She's in such denial about her diagnosis and prognosis. When it comes to this, I feel like she needs to be given a little bit of leeway in the form of, like, she's in denial, because I think that it's kind of, it would be expected to an extent. I think more so what the problem is just her lifestyle, constantly being surrounded by yes men, where that she just, when people tell her no, or they say something she doesn't like, normally she just cuts that person off and is like, well, fuck you then. Like, in this situation, she can't really do that. She is doing that, but it's like, what that equates to is her, like, not listening to medical professionals. So her denial has taken her to very dangerous points, in my opinion. I think it's normal to expect someone to have a little bit of denial here and there. But yeah, hers is definitely gone a bit too far. 100% all you need is a referral from a doctor, yeah? Yeah, like, you can't just, like, go to a hospital and be like, I would like to be a patient here, please. Right? I don't know. She probably wanted an appointment the next day or something, and they have not been able to accommodate that. Right, yeah. So, like, if a doctor, an oncologist, hits up MD Anderson and they're like, hey, I have this stage 4 cancer patient who needs an emergency colonoscopy, an emergency this and that, whatever, they can send a referral through and do all that with MD Anderson, right? But you can't just be like, because, like, everyone who's there needs to be there, right? You can't just, like, walk up to the front desk and be like, I'd like an appointment, please. It's like, we have a lot of emergencies going on right now, so I don't know. Entitlement is, yeah, I think that's what it is. Her friends are all dicks for enabling her to let herself die. And she was just saying that, like, okay, because she has Carissa now, the, her personal assistant or whatever, but she was saying before that she had another personal assistant. She called him, like, an executive assistant or something, which is wild. And apparently that person was like, hey, we need to go have an appointment with this person or whatever. She's like, he's not here anymore, or she, or whoever. I don't know. Making it sound like she, like, kicked him to the curb, essentially, because they weren't going along with what she wanted, and they were trying to make appointments with her that are going to save her life. And she's just like, no, No, bye! I don't know. Denial response is one reason that doctors have to be blunt and clear. Euphemisms can be hard, or heard as a different thing. Yeah, but then, like, aren't doctors not supposed to also give, like, absolutes? Like, prognoses be like, you will be dead in 2 months, or, you know, something like that? Like, isn't there, like, a line there? I don't know. But, yeah, see, that's why I'm like, she makes it sound like she's asking questions and they're just like, I don't know. So I don't think that's what happened, but anyway.
Who could get me in, and I had this conversation, and, you know, I was excited. I was really excited. I felt like I'm going to go there. It's going to be cutting edge. In the meantime, I was doing genetic testing to see what gene mutations I had. In the meantime, I was doing all of the alternative medicine that I had found on my own. In the meantime, I was having phone calls with people who were talking about natural killer cells. I was taking phone calls with everybody. It was like all day from the time I woke up until the time I went to bed, we were, you know, fielding phone calls. I learned a new morning routine at this point, though, where I said, this is ridiculous. I got to change this. And I don't get on my phone now for the first 2 hours of each day. I get up. I do things with my dogs. I get in the sun.
Sorry, I'm like farting around with the chat.
I have to have sunlight. I'm handling my beautiful children. I do some stuff I'm going to talk about in a minute. I set my whole day up.
Her beautiful children. And she's talking about her dogs, right? Okay. Why would she say it that way? Anyway.
Before I ever pick up a cell phone. Okay, so things have shifted obviously dramatically, but at this point in time, it's phone call, phone call, phone call, phone call. You know, it seems everyone's got the flipping cure, you know, and you're trying to figure all of this out. And so I was super excited for that, I was super excited to go to MD Anderson. And I don't have the date on here right now for MD Anderson, but I am going to tell you what happened at MD Anderson, even though I can't find on here when exactly that was, but I'm going to get that for you guys. So, oh, it's right here. Goodness gracious. So my intake call is March 22nd.
Okay, she has an editor.
March 24th is my PET scan. My PET scan
Why didn't they cut that part out? Like, what is her editor doing?
comes back.
Oh, hell yeah, DC. Love that.
Oh, sorry. My PET scan comes back and is sent to MD Anderson. So I went to Texas Oncology on March 24th and had a PET scan. Then on March 27th, I drove on the 26th of March with my best friend, Courtney Shepard, and my 2 dogs. We got in the car. We drove to Texas, or we're in Texas. We drove from Dallas area. I live in Frisco, down to Houston, Texas. And I had my first in-person consultation. And last in-person consultation.
See, I'm telling you, she's about to demonize MD Anderson. That's why I thought this whole time she was already talking about MD Anderson, because I know she hated the situation there, and she's already, like, one sentence in, she's like, I'll never go back to MD Anderson. It's my last time ever being there. Yeah, she's about to go off.
I remember driving up, and I posted the photo of MD Anderson in my stories. It was late night when we got there. I was so excited. We checked into the hotel for 5 days. I was so excited.
That's why she brought the dogs. 5 days in a hotel.
We were going to find cutting edge things to do. We were going to find different treatments. There was going to be some kind of test I could get into, some card.
I don't think she has a professional editor. I think if anything, she has her assistant doing it. But someone is editing this. Like, there was a title scene at the beginning. Like, but clearly they're not doing much.
Maybe something. And I got there, and I don't think I'll ever forget. I mean, I know enough. There's no way. This is like a core memory in your life. And I'm feeling so good, mind you. My blood work has come back. My circulating cells are not that high, which can mean something, can mean nothing. So don't get too excited about it, is basically what they say about it. But I feel good. You know, I feel like I've recovered from the surgery well. I can't believe that was so long ago. I can't believe that was March 27th. We get in there. Get my intro blood work done, walk in, the doctor's, okay, the PA comes in, the physician assistant comes in, and she had this kind of attitude, right? Which I was kind of like, okay, this is a hard job. You know, it's a hard job. You're in the colon cancer unit. This is a hard job. She walks out of the room, and I look at Courtney, who's sitting to my left, and I said, this is not the right place for me. I can already tell. I don't like her. I don't like her energy. I'm like,
yeah, that sucks. Yeah, fine. Sometimes when you work with people who are literally constantly getting like life, sorry, what am I trying to say? Terminal diagnoses, I think that's it. Yeah, it could get a little difficult. Is it possible that maybe she was having a bad day? Is that an excuse? No. I don't think there's ever an excuse to, like, if you're working a job like that, like, well, it's also probably not as bad as Jessie's, like, trying to tell us that it is, because she likes to be like, I can read energies and blah, 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 whatever. It's like, maybe, but maybe she was just having a bad day. She shouldn't have taken it out on you, but, I don't know, you can't just, like, judge the entire hospital based on the physician assistant, one person, and to the point where you're like, this isn't the place for me. It's, like, the best cancer treatment you can possibly get at MD Anderson. And you're immediately, you're so ready to write it off. See, that's why I'm like, I think she went into this, like, after seeing that list of questions she had, I think she went into this knowing she didn't want to hear, they were going to tell her stuff she didn't want to hear, and she wasn't going to be having any of it. I think she knew exactly what she wanted to do and what she was going to do.
The energy of this room, I don't like the energy of this place. And she goes, me either. Or she disagreed with. She was like, the doctor walks in, and I will not say his name, but I have not had a blackout moment like this since trauma of 9-year-old Jessie Lee. Because your brain protects you for moments that are super, super traumatic. So I'm going to tell you everything I remember, and maybe Courtney can come in on a video someday and fill you guys in on what she remembers.
Okay, before she tells us this, I think, yeah, I mean, I feel like this whole cancer diagnosis thing with Jessie Lee did happen really fast. Like, she wasn't expecting this, and so, like, it's kind of like, bam, 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 we got, like, you got cancer, you got to get going. She didn't have a lot of time to, like, mentally prepare for all this kind of stuff. But on a realistic level, like, as much as you can, like, hope that you're gonna get good news, I guess, like, realistically, I don't know why she's expecting, like, rainbows and, like, her doctor to just fly in on a unicorn and be like, everything's fine, you're gonna be alright. Like, it's pretty serious. I just feel like she has very unrealistic expectations of the severity of what's going on here. And it's like, okay, and then she's gonna sit here and talk about how great all these, like, alternative medicine situations are that she's getting herself into. It's like, yeah, because they're not gonna tell you the truth of how severe this is. That's the other thing too, is that alternative medicine, like these holistic, like, integrative medicine doctors or whatever, hey, she has no problem with them profiting off of the services they're providing her. But if they're, like, a Western medicine doctor, a modern medicine, an actual hospital, then she has a problem with it. But meanwhile, she'll go buy a $15,000 infrared spa or whatever those things are. She'll spend, didn't she say something in the last video? She spent like she got a $50,000 bill from a hospital which she was complaining about this too. And it was like a holistic medicine place where they were trying to give her a bunch of like injections and holistic treatments and stuff, and it was like $50,000. So obviously, yeah, like, I would complain about that too. But, like, for the most part, there's a double standard here. She's going to all these, like, alternative places, and she's not necessarily complaining about them making money off of shit that doesn't work, dude. Like, statistically and scientifically, like, so many of the things that she's doing there's no proof to show that any of it works. But she's totally okay with, like, piling money on those people, but God forbid she does that to an actual doctor, a legit physician. Like, that alt doctors speak with a certainty that MDs don't, because they literally can't. Alt doctors get away with a lot if they put up a disclaimer somewhere. Right, yeah. Yeah. A lot of these alternative treatments, like, all they basically have to do is be like, oh, by the way, like, this stuff isn't, like, approved by the FDA. And then it's just like, then it's like consensual. They just have to give their consent. Like, I don't know. How much did the coffee butt washing stuff cost her? A lot. She buys like special coffee beans to put up her butt. Like she bought them from a certain source. They're like super organic or whatever. Like she's talked about how good quality these coffee beans are. So she's spending, it's not like she's just going to Kroger and buying a box of coffee grounds and putting it up her butt. No, she's like buying, excuse me, she's buying like the highest quality of coffee beans to put up her butt, you know? Integrative doctors are not usually covered by insurance, from what I understand, but, yeah.
But I remember sitting there, again, up on one of those little chair bed things, you know. He comes in, he won't even look me in the eye. He's talking to me like this. So he's talking to me like this, and he's like, yeah, this is not good. You know, this is not good. You know how serious it is? This is not good.
Okay, so he did make eye contact with you at one point. Did he have a chart? Also, it's human nature. He's giving you very bad news. Like, I don't think that you can be like, oh, he clearly didn't care because he wouldn't make eye contact with me. Like, it doesn't matter how long you do a job like this for. It's like, you're telling people that they're terminally ill. Why would you want to look them in the eye and like face that kind of trauma just over and over and over again every single day? To me, I think that's an excusable. I mean, it sucks. Yeah, like you want to be met eye to eye with like a confident person, but like even like, I mean, you can be neurodivergent and also a doctor, you know? Like some people just like don't do well with eye contact. I'm like that too. Like I have to look at people's mouths when I talk to them because it like helps me process the words that are coming out of their mouth better because like I'm watching their mouth and not actually their eyes. And I feel like that's kind of like I don't know, like a socially, that's not the social norm. I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there are some people who just, like, can't look people in the eye, especially when you're giving them news like that. Like, yeah, but also, Sam, like, what you were just saying, he could have been reading his notes, right? Was he holding a chart? Did he have a tablet? Like, was he looking at something? Or, because she's sitting there with her arms crossed like this. Is that really, really? And even if it was, I'm sorry, but like delivering this kind of news to people day in and day out is probably really hard. Oh my God. I have OCD and can't look at people's eyes while I talk. I bet he looked at her when she talked. I mean, maybe. I just feel like this is something that like you can't hold this against him, dude. Like human nature tells me that like he was delivering bad, uncomfortable news to you, and you're expecting fireworks, like flowers, like what are you expecting? I don't, this sucks. Every part of this situation sucks. It sucks for the doctor, it especially sucks for Jessie. We all get it. It sucks for the people involved. It can't be like, oh, hey, by the way, you have stage 4 cancer and you'll be dead by Christmas. Bye. Like, what are you expecting, Jessie? Are you expecting to fall into like you had Courtney with her, or she had Courtney with her, so it's not like she could like, it's not like she was expecting the doctor to be like, bring it in, you can cry in my arms. No, she's got Courtney there, cry in her arms. Like, she had someone there for emotional support. Like, was she expecting him to open himself up to be the emotional support? He doesn't have time for that either. Dude, he's a doctor at MD Anderson. He's got other patients to see. I don't know. I'm saying all these things out loud, and I think most people here in this chat understand. Like, I don't have to explain this, but, like, for some reason to Jessie, she's taking it personally. And I'm like, I don't think you should be taking this personally. Personally, I don't think you should be taking this personally.
Goes, so you have about 6 months to live, 8 months to live.
Pretty fucking hard.
If you do
to tell someone.
He's like, if you do.
Oh, okay. So he did have papers then. So he was looking down at a chart. He had paper. Jessie, it's not like he was just looking at his legs. It's not like he was just looking down at his crotch because, I mean, even if he was, it's just kind of like, yeah, maybe he doesn't want to make eye contact with you. But now she's like, oh, he had papers. Okay, so he was reading something. What do you want him to do? I don't have anything to read. I don't have papers up here. Hold it up like this in front of his face so you can't even see his face? If he's reading, either he's reading here, he's reading there. What? Because then otherwise, it's almost like impersonal that he's like memorized a script or something. So that for the sole purpose that he can look you in the eye. But that wouldn't make any sense. Because everyone's charts are different. Like, there's not a script for that kind of thing. I think doctors get training for handling this emotionally themselves. Right. I think most people, if they were faced in this situation and had to literally tell somebody that they were dying from colorectal cancer, I think most people would have a hard time delivering that news. Yeah, Kirsten, that's another point. Some doctors tell it so bluntly he was trying to be kind. I mean, this is pretty blunt, but like she's kind of demonizing him for like not looking her in the eye while he's doing it. If colon cancer is all this guy does, he knows his stuff. He doesn't have to make it warm and fuzzy. But see, that's what she wanted. But she had emotional support there, so unrealistic expectations. Alice! I was just about to press play, but we need a dance break. Thank you, Alice, for the 10 gifted memberships.
It's a pop tart party right now. Look at all the pop tarts in here. Everybody has a pop tart by their icon. Hey, more pop tarts in the chat.
Thank you, Alice. And now we can continue. Holy shit, man.
Oh no, sorry, not looking down, like this. 6 months to live, 8 months to live.
Oh, okay, so now she's changing her mind. Oh, so he just has his eyes closed. I'm sorry, like that, I don't believe it. Either that or he's, like, yeah, it might be a coping mechanism. Like, I don't think he's doing that to be impersonal. I think he's trying not to fucking lose his shit.
If you do Folfox and Avastin, really intense, no quality of life, maybe I can get you to live 2.5 years. Okay?
I'm sorry, how else were you expecting him to deliver that? With a smile on his face? What were you expecting, Jessie? I don't understand what she was expecting. The thing is that, like, all the doctors that she claims to love are essentially yes men to her. They're telling her exactly what she wants to hear. They're telling her that she's doing great. And Ari, thank you for gifting 10 memberships.
It's a pop tart party right now. Look at all the pop tarts in here. Everybody has a pop tart by their icon. Hey, more pop tarts in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. SR got, he should have done cartwheels apparently. I don't know what she was expecting. And it seems to me, the way she just said that, like, it seems like he knew exactly that, he was going to be giving her some bad news. I think his tone, if that's the tone he gave her, I think that's right on. That wasn't rude. He's trying to, like, calmly deliver bad news to you. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what she expected. What else did you expect, Jessie? I'm having a hard time understanding that. Like, she's just... would you rather have a robot that, like, gives everyone the same... Like, did you expect, like, a string quartet to be following him around and just, like, playing inspirational music while he gives you a prognosis and tells you, like, I can help you live an extra 2 years? Like, what were you expecting? Ugh! You know what this is? You know where Jessie Lee is taking us right now?
Manipulation station.
Forgot I had that button. Oh shit, that's good.
And I went, and that's when I go, boom. That's when I black out. That's when I start hysterically crying.
And again, hey, Jessie, that's an understandable reaction to being told that you probably have 8 months to live. Like, that fucking sucks. And your reaction is exactly what he expected, which is probably why he delivered the news to you the way he did. What was she expecting? I guess she was probably expecting him to be like, yeah, it's pretty bad, but we can fix this. And it's like, okay, so do you want him to lie to you? Like, what do you want? What do you want? It's that scene from The Notebook. What do you want?
Around for my phone. He was not there. He was in California with his kids. And I completely break down. Like, this was the most aggressive crying I had up until that point in time.
Sorry, I have to move her a little bit.
I've had more since then, much more since then, but
I'm trying to get it even.
I was completely shaken. I was completely wrecked. I felt...
I can't.
I don't know how you prepare yourself for a moment like that. I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't think you can either.
I know Courtney started asking him questions. I know Amiram started saying stuff. I know I'm sobbing. I remember putting my head up and saying, but I'm not normal. And I said, people like me, like, you look like this and you're dead in 6 months? He goes, yes, dead in 6 to 8 months, yes.
Okay, I'm pretty sure if a doctor who does this for a living is telling you that, yes, we do see people who look healthy like you who die within 6 to 8 months from something like this. He's not saying that to be an asshole. Also, Jessie, you have lost an incredible amount of weight over the past year, dude. And you thought it was because you were injecting 15 things into your butt every single day and exercising and have, like, you finally found a diet that was working for you and weight loss, whatever. Turns out, yeah, you were withering away because you had fucking colon cancer this whole time and you didn't know, and no one can blame her for that, okay? But, like, she's like, look at me, I look healthy. It's like, I know it's hard to think critically in a moment like this, but let's remember, like, how much of a physical change your body has taken in the past year, Jessie. And you're still losing weight. Like, she was even saying at one point, she was like, yeah, I just kept getting skinnier. I was like, I felt like I was looking healthy, but I kept losing weight. It's like, okay, so you wanted to stop losing weight, but you were still losing it. And it's like, what? I know it's hard to, like, I mean, I don't know because I've never been in this situation, but, like, I'm sure it's impossible to prepare yourself for news like this, but there are so many red flags that it's like, yeah, you look like this now, but, like, a year ago you had an extra 50 pounds on you. What are you going to look like a year from now? You know, if you make it a year from now, how much more weight are you going to lose? How much more are you going to wither away? Like, that's great. You look healthy now. That can change so fast. Okay, Alyssa, wait, just to clarify, is this still part of the other video you did live? Like, she filmed this before that Facebook live where she basically said she was better. I'm not sure. Because that last live that I did, we were watching part 1 to this video series she's doing, and while we were watching it, she was going live. So I don't know how long ago she filmed what we're watching right now. I don't know. But I do know that she filmed, obviously, she filmed that first part that we watched before she went live, obviously, because we were watching it, and then she went live. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was filmed before or after that.
So for those of you who are wondering why we're super excited for November 1st, it is my 35th birthday on November 1st, so you guys can wish me happy birthday on November 1st. But also because you told me I'd be dead in October.
You literally just said he said 6 to 8 months. Which would have been between October and December, and, like, another oncologist told you wouldn't see Christmas. So, yeah, that adds up. But she's like, yeah, see, November 1st, I'm in the clear if I make it to that. It's like, he said 6 to 8 months. So then, like, when that comes around, you know, again, like, none of us hope that she loses her life over this, but, like, if she doesn't, which hopefully she doesn't. But if she doesn't, she's going to be coming around being like, see, ha ha, in your face, MD Anderson, I survived longer than you told me. And it's like, I don't know. It's not, she's like, we're so excited for November 1st. Dude, things can change so fast. It just seems like a gotcha. Like it's almost like a personal vendetta that you have against MD Anderson to make it to November 1st, even though people gave you until Christmas. Really, listen, if it's gonna help her help her feel better, then fine, great, whatever makes you feel better, Jessie. But it's just another form of denial, I guess. If you make it to November 1st and you think you're in the clear, yeah, Haley, plenty of people live past their prognosis and still lose the fight with cancer. With stage 4 colon cancer, I believe it's the 5-year survival rate is like 14% or something like that. So she has a 14% chance of making it past 5 years. So basically a very, very minimal chance. She still could. It's like that Dumb and Dumber quote where he's like, you mean like 1 in 100? Or like, what do you think, a girl like me and a guy like you, or something like that? He says that to her. Yeah, I don't know. What are the chances of us ending up together? And she's just like, not much. And he's like, you mean like 1 in 100? And she's like, more like 1 in 1,000,000. And he's like, so you're saying there's a chance? You know, like, yeah, there's a chance, but it's a very small chance. And even like, but that's 5 years, right? That's not 6 to 8 months. It's just an estimation. Like, I don't think the doctor is not saying you will be dead. I mean, again, I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room with her, okay? None of us were. But I'm sure it's just, like, he probably made it clear that it's an estimation, or that like, statistically, when I see cases that are this bad, this is about how long they last, you know? We really have to take everything that Jessie Lee says with a grain of salt, because I think, yeah, she really does. Yeah, she does this. She does this shit a lot.
Okay? And I accept my diagnosis of colon cancer stage 4. He's the one who staged me at stage 4 that day because he read the PET scan. I do not accept a prognosis of death. Okay? There is no do I look like I am dying? Okay?
You've lost like half of your body weight in a year. I mean, right now she looks fine. Well, I mean, she looks really skinny. Let's be honest. She looks really skinny. But we've been saying she looks really skinny for the past like 8 months, before any of us even knew she had cancer, before she even knew she had cancer. We were all saying it. We were all talking about it. So while she still has she has a bit to go before she is completely wasted away, like, how long can that take? I don't know. We don't know, Jessie, but like, yo, you look okay now, but like, things can change really fast. You have metastatic cancer, dude. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Well, actually, we're all dying, okay? From the day you're born, you're leading up to death. Whatever.
Sure.
But what? Like, this, no. See, just, no. I'm like, there's no pain, doc. There's no, look at me, look at me, look at me.
But she literally told us in the last video that she was passing blood clots. She showed us pictures of it. They were like the size of her palm. Hey, Amy, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Yeah, she showed us pictures of blood clots she was passing. She's like, there's no pain. Okay, pain is one thing. Before you had your surgery, you were passing blood clots the size of a freaking baseball, dude. Like, even if that didn't hurt, which to me, I'm like, you gotta feel something, right? If that's what's going on in there. But even if you don't feel any pain, that's not normal. Like, you were still having other side effects, you know? You were still having, what the fuck is the word? Symptoms. You know? Yeah, she was bleeding for months. That's what I'm saying. Like, literally for like, what'd she say, 4 months or something? Before she finally went and got seen.
Right? I literally, and then I'm on the phone FaceTiming Aubrey, right? And he says, so, you know, before you go get the blood work, you're gonna need to sign off on the chemotherapy, okay? And I went, I have to sign off on chemotherapy before I get blood work here? No. And Aviram yells, she is not making any decisions today. Courtney goes, we are getting out of here. And we just went out. We got the, I'm blind. And then shout out to my friend Loka, who is a joy man. That is his whole brand. I love him so much. He happened to text me a meme. I gotta get the meme for you guys. I gotta post it. It says something like, and then we'll post it so you can see it. The meme says something like, here's the Dead Sea, the saltiest thing on earth, except for your bitch ass. And he said, in case you need to send this to anyone today. And I was like, I could have just given it to that doctor.
Oh my God, her audio levels, I'm sorry.
But anyway, so that's how that happened. But I said, I'm out of here. And I'm sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. We rush back to the hotel. We grab the dogs. We call Marriott. We're checking out of this hotel. We get in the car. We book it back to Dallas 4 hours straight. I was going to see my good friend Johnny Green and his wife Deborah. We had this whole thing planned. And then no, absolutely not. I'm out of here. I am so out of here. And thank you, by the way, Johnny Green and his wife took my medical stuff, drove it to MD Anderson for me. Amazing shout out. Thank you. Ended up making no dang on difference, but I love you and thank you for doing that very much. Appreciated. And so, like I said, went there, did the blood work, did my consultation, and booked it.
Jessie is someone who attributes like her weight to her internal health, which obviously is not something that, just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy, and just because you're overweight means like that doesn't mean that you're unhealthy. But she's one of those people that basically subscribes to that. She's like, look, I look healthier than I ever have in my entire life. No, you look skinnier than you have in your entire life, and that doesn't necessarily equate to internal health. So that's why she says that shit. I think that she has had a lifetime of body image issues, which, join the club, I guess. Like, I think we all have to an extent, and I think it's understandable to have like that kind of feeling about your outward appearance. I just don't think she's being realistic about so much of this.
Straight out of there, headed all the way back home. And this was one of my first moments where I had a Nana sighting. And it was one of those moments where I just needed her. My Nana passed away on July 16, 2017. She's the woman that raised me, and I was crying out to her, crying out to God, crying out like, where, do you not hear me? Do you not hear my prayers? Like, am I alone in this? Like, what is going on? Like, am I making the right decision to leave here? And I leave there, and my phone almost instantaneously reroutes me. And it reroutes me on Alameda Street in Houston. My Nana's name is Jessie Netta Alameda Paulson.
That's what we call a coincidence. Sorry. Like, okay, listen. My mom is somebody who believes that, like, if she finds a penny on her car seat, or like, she calls them pennies from heaven, or if she's getting in her car and she finds a penny on the ground, she's like, an angel put that there. It's my guardian angel, like, telling me that they're looking out for me or whatever. This is kind of the same thing. Do I think my mom is absolutely ridiculous for believing those things? Yes. Yes, I do. Sometimes pennies are just there. Like, sometimes the GPS has to recalibrate, and oh, wow, what a coincidence. It's the same name as your mom. Like, it's a coincidence. I'm sorry. Like, if she finds comfort in believing that, like, she's being watched over by her Nana or whatever, like, great, good for her. This is a coincidence. You're just, like, you're adding meaning to something that really has no significance to anyone else but you.
And all of a sudden, I'm rerouted to that street. That was the first time I had, like, a Nana sign in nearly 5 years. And I just start losing it again, crying. I show the phone to Courtney, and then she's crying, and we're crying all the way home. But again, I accept the diagnosis. I did not accept the prognosis. So next, there's follow-ups with other doctors on the 28th and 29th. On the 30th, I went to Dr. Marshall for a consultation, which was for the Greek test. The Greek test is pretty cool. This was through the Costanzas Institute. You have to look up integrative oncology for this. I highly recommend this for people with resources. The Greek test, RGCC Greek test. I'll post some of the results of mine. But this was a big decision.
It seems that this specific population of malignant cells have greater sensitivity in... I don't know if... Here, I'll make this bigger just for a moment here. If anyone wants to, I don't know, pause and read this and tell us in the chat what any of it means. I don't know what class 1, class 2, like, I don't know what all that shit means. And I actually can't even really read that because my eyes are very bad and this is not super clear. Not a super clear image, but the natural substances that are tested in our lab facilities are not bonded from restriction for medical use. What does that mean? I don't know what any of this means. She's talking about like some Greek test or something. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Beep. Boop. Beep. That's as close as it's gonna get. I don't know. Someone smart in the chat, let us know.
Maker in some of the things that started happening. I don't know if I've told you. So I made the decision in that moment when my prognosis was given to me that I was going to absolutely heal from this and I was going to do it holistically. And the reason I chose that was because I was told I would not have a quality of life for the 2.5 years if you could keep me alive. What is the purpose? I would rather have 6 months where I can travel, where I can be with my friends, where I can be with my dogs, where I can get my affairs in order, where I can have a life that I like to live, where I can give myself a fighting chance. You are like this. I never once became the diagnosis or the prognosis. I did not go, okay, I'm dying. I went, no, I'm living. And too many people, I see it. This is why I can't be on the cancer pages. I can't follow a bunch of people who have cancer. I can't. I only want to talk to survivors and thrivers and people who are healing also naturally and have a positive outlook on this because I can't deal with the you're dying.
I don't blame her for this at all, actually. I think that I would probably do the same thing. Stay out of all the cancer groups, like try not to Google shit, you know, that kind of stuff. This pause story is quite bad. I seriously doubt any doctor told her that she would have no quality of life. Well, okay, question. Isn't the quality of life situation only basically bad while you're getting chemo? And the doctor told her it was 12 rounds of chemo over 6 months. So, like, wouldn't that mean that you have, like, 6 months of, like, a pretty shitty quality of life, but while you're not on chemo, you're doing better, right? Isn't the chemo what makes you essentially feel like shit? So that doesn't make sense. If you do 6 months of chemo in order to extend your life for another 2 to 2.5 years, wouldn't that mean you only have 6 months of a shitty quality of life, but then you still have 2 years to live? I don't know. By the way, your mom isn't silly. Pennies come from heaven, lol. I hand them out all the time. Your name is fucking Heaven Sent 777. Like sent like a penny. Are you a guardian angel? Where did you come from and how did you find my chat? No, I think she's silly. Like, sorry, but I think she's silly. Yeah, chemo makes you feel like shit. Chemo is really harsh. Right. Oh, that's what I'm saying. But then, like, after chemo, wouldn't you, like, start feeling better? Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. My aunt has skin sensitivity. Her taste buds change and has to wear certain things, but 10 years in remission. Yeah, that's great. If you're going to extend your life in that way, that's awesome. Everyone reacts to chemo differently. Right, so then it's not like a doctor would tell her, like, yeah, no, you won't have a quality of life. If everyone reacts to chemo differently, then if anything, he would be like, there's a chance that, like, you wouldn't have a quality of life for 2 years, but there's a chance you will. So it's like, weigh your options in that way. Chemo sucks, but I still had an okay quality of life when I was on the same chemo she should be on. Yeah. A lot can happen in 2 years. What happens when she lets herself die? A new treatment comes along, like, who knows? But why just throw it all away? I mean, I don't think she sees it that way. I like leaving pennies places because it makes people happy, even if it's silly. So you're the one that makes my mom think that pennies come from heaven. No, see, that's why I paint rocks and then I go hide them everywhere. Like, I paint them and then leave them for people to find. And so I understand the sentiment, for sure. But anyway, my mother-in-law got 2 extra years, met a whole new grandchild, and got 2 more years with her whole family. Chemo did the Lord's work for her. Quality of life is a personal decision. That's for the patient to make. The doctors don't decide for you. Right, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I mean, but, like, if you're gonna do chemo and then, like, everything after that, you're just, like, on bed rest for 2 years until you finally die, like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a great quality of life to me. But, like, yeah, at that point, it's, like, but, like, you don't know until you try. I don't know. If you're diagnosed and not prescribed, what's the word? If the doctor tells you you need 12 rounds of chemo and you do 2 rounds of chemo and, like, everything fucking sucks and you're like, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore, that's one thing. But she didn't even try it. Yeah, I don't know. I never put the hike and her stage 4 diagnosis together until now. Wait, hold on. What did I miss? Oh, I don't see that chat anywhere. I don't know. I don't know. She was saying that she was, like, bleeding while she was on the Columbia hike. Like, passing clots and bleeding through her clothes and stuff. So she was obviously, like, going through it while she was on the hike. But, you can always stop chemo if your quality of life deteriorates. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they don't force you to finish the rounds. Yeah, they're not going to hold you at gunpoint and be like, you must do 12 more rounds of chemo. Like, they're not going to do that. And I guess you could easily make the decision to stop. I don't know. It's that kind of stuff where I'm like, I guess I understand why she would choose not to do that if that were the case. But, like, she didn't even try it. My mom's in chemo right now. Yeah, it's hard, but she's in remission. And in her words, she'll take a little while of feeling awful to have as much time with us as possible. And she's 74. I think that's how most people look at it. But, like, yeah, I don't know. She just said she would rather have 6 months of feeling good than 2.5 years of cancer treatments. She made the choice. No, because the doctor said that it was only 6 months of cancer treatments and that those cancer treatments might be able to expand her life for another 2.5 years. So she would have 2.5 years longer to live than she would without the chemo, is what he was saying, after 6 months of the chemo. Did she make the choice? Yup, she sure did. Whether or not it was the right choice for her, I guess only time will tell, but, like, yeah, it's her choice. My problem is, and let me reiterate this because I haven't really said this on this stream, but I've said it a million times everywhere else, that my problem is not that she's, like, doing a my body, my choice thing. My problem is that she's here right now doing a YouTube, not segment. What is the word I'm looking for? She's making YouTube videos. Basically, I'm sorry, but she's spreading very dangerous misinformation, and she has a very big following. If Jessie Lee Ward was doing all the things that she's doing right now, that she's telling us that she's doing, except, like, in the privacy of her own home, not literally going, like, she's talking people out of going to MD Anderson right now, and that is fucking dangerous. If MD Anderson is the highest standard of care that you can get with the diagnosis that Jessie Lee has, or anyone with any kind of cancer, it's very dangerous to essentially badmouth them and talk bad about her experiences that could potentially talk people out of going. And influencing people to basically take their health into their own hands and put coffee up their butt instead. Like, that's where I have an issue. I don't give a shit. It's like, yeah, it is my body, my choice, but she is broadcasting it. And I'm sorry, but she has a very impressionable audience, and that's where my problem lies. Is that if it only takes one person to also get a cancer diagnosis and be like, oh, I saw Jessie Lee not do chemo, even though my doctor's telling me that I should do chemo. I don't really want to do that. And Jessie Lee just, like, she put coffee up her butt and sunned her butthole for 6 months, and now she's fine. I'll just do that instead. That sounds better than chemo. Like, that's where I have an issue, and I hope that that's made very clear. It's not the fact that she's making these choices. Do I think it's stupid that she's making these choices? And I think she's misguided by the yes men who surround her? Yup, sure do. But at the end of it, she can make whatever decision she wants, but I think it's very, very dangerous the way that she is spreading this narrative around. That's where I have an issue. Did she make the choice? Yup. But she's trying to suggest that other people should make the same choices that she did, is basically what I'm saying. She's also using the cancer to hawk more ketones. Yep, there's that part too. She's literally profiting off of her cancer diagnosis, which is also shitty. Alternative medicine is your choice to make, but shilling it is dangerous. These doctors take advantage of desperate people to make money hand over fist. Yeah, and she only seems to have a problem with the doctors making money off of it if they're selling her modern medicine, and but she'll go to an alternative medicine place and pay a shitload of money, thousands of dollars, and she's totally okay with paying that. There's hypocrisy there for sure. It's a double standard. There's a lot of issues here, but her prerogative to not do chemo, but the misinformation she spouts could get someone killed. Irresponsible. Yes, Melissa, that's basically, yeah. It's giving doctors hate her. I mean, I think they might, but they would still help her if she would let them. If she dies, it won't be blamed on her treatments. It'll still be somehow the doctor's fault. Yeah, they'll say like, oh, they didn't give her this treatment early enough, or they should have tried this instead. Yeah, there's no winning in this situation. I think the whole thing is extremely, extremely dangerous. The narrative and all that. Basically, girl, do you, but stop with the Western medicine bashing. Yeah. Yeah, and, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, there's not a single alternative holistic thing that helps with anything, because that's not true. I think there are plenty of, like, I don't know, for example, like, garlic supplements can, like, act as a natural blood thinner or something like that. Instead of, like, taking blood thinning medication, you can just take garlic supplement. Like, we know, like, scientifically, we know that, like, garlic is, like, a natural blood thinner. But, like, that's not what we're talking about. Like, this is, like, a life and death situation, you know? And she's, yeah, I just think it's really irresponsible. So, anyway.
We're all dying, and you might die tomorrow. You might get struck by lightning. Your building might collapse. You might get flooded. A tsunami might be hitting you. Who knows? Tornado rolling through. I live in Texas. I don't know. But I was not about to give up like so many people give up. And in that moment, I said, screw this. I gotta find a different way. I gotta find a different path. If I'm gonna die in 2.5 years, 6 months, 8 months, whatever, I'm dying on my terms. Period. I'm always gonna die on my terms.
Again, fine. That's fine. But this is it's dangerous to be spouting this on the internet to an impressionable audience of hundreds of thousands of people.
This is crazy to me. So people can call me crazy. They can say I'm spreading misinformation. They can say that
You are.
Misinformation.
Thank you.
Sharing is dangerous because I'm a social media influencer. Y'all tell me how you feel about it in the comments, okay? I'm curious.
You're not curious, you know exactly. Okay, and then also, if you do care about, like, all these people are out here saying all this shit that is negative, she just got done saying that she's like, no more stressors for me. Hi, I'm Jessie Lee. Nothing else to ever stress me out again. But meanwhile, she's like, oh, I would like to know what you all think, please. No, you don't. Because if we all tell you something you don't want to hear, then suddenly it's negative instead of just being realistic. If you care so much about stressors, then don't read comments. Don't go live on Facebook while you're packing your ketone shit and read all the hate comments. Like, don't do all those things. Don't do that. You're going to stress yourself out. Hey, welcome to the internet. It's stressful.
I'm doing what's best for me. So if you want to do chemo and radiation and do all these things, then by all freaking means. But for me, 2.5 years of having, holes burnt in my skin and not being, and the, what is it, neuropathy or whatever it's called, not being able to feel my feet, painful sores in my mouth.
I'm pretty sure, look, so, like, again, I'm not, like, I've never been through this myself, but, I'm pretty sure what she's talking about with, like, not being able to feel your feet and shit, I think when you're doing chemo, like, it can mess with blood circulation or something like that, so, like, they make you wear, like, ice packs on your feet or something like that. I've heard this. I don't know. I follow this girl who has breast cancer on TikTok who was talking about it at one point. So she had stage 3 breast cancer. I forget her name, but she was like kind of going viral. She's really sweet. Yeah, like they have they have things to like help that not happen. And is that uncomfortable? Yeah, sure, for a few hours. But if it's gonna extend your life, then it's like,
Infertility, destroying me, no sex drive, no energy, turning into a skeleton. No, thank you. I'm not signing up for it. You do you.
Jesse, you're already turning into a skeleton. I'm freaking sorry, but you've lost so much weight because of your, like, allegedly. And what is probably most realistically happening when it comes to your weight loss is, yeah, Liz, your cancer was probably causing it. You're already turning into a skeleton, like, with or without the chemo, you're doing that, so.
I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna stay in my lane, drink my freaking carrot juice, and be a happy Jessie Lee. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bye.
I'm gonna put coffee up my butt and be a happy Jessie Lee. Thank you, bye. I just, make it make sense, dude. If that's what you want to do, fine. But again, why are you posting it all over the internet? Why are you going live while you have a tube of coffee going up your butthole? Like, why do you do that?
So I do this RGCC Greek test. I take blood. And basically the way this test works is super cool. They ship overnight your blood to Greece. That's why it's called the Greek test. And it costs about $3,000 for the doctor's visit, the test. And they take your blood and they line it up in all the little petri dishes or whatever with all the different chemotherapies, all the different immunotherapies, and all the different natural stuff too. You get your results back in a couple of weeks. When it comes back, it tells you exactly how much of your cancer that's living in you dies from each of the following treatments. So this doctor who told me I needed to do FOLFOX and Avastin at MD Anderson, because you gotta hit it 2 ways. Avastin only works, I think it's 30%. I'll pull up my Greek test, double check.
Okay, 30% is better than nothing, but all right.
Which frankincense is just as effective. Like,
Jessie Lee! Taking a capsule of frankincense is not the equivalent of, like, of putting a drop of frankincense in a petri dish with your blood. Like, in vitro is not the same as inside of your body. You realize that, right? Like, I'm sure chemo, because chemo goes through your bloodstream and stuff. Yeah, there's that. You're not injecting frankincense essential oil into your bloodstream. Like, it doesn't work that same way. Like, this is the
Misinformation.
that makes me upset. This is why I cover this shit, because don't sit here and say that she literally just said frankincense is just as effective as chemotherapy. No, it's not. In vitro, maybe, sure, fine, whatever. In your body, no, it's not. No, it is not. Do you know how many people die from this kind of
Misinformation.
Thank you, Colleen. When they decide not to do chemo because they hear that kind of stuff and they're like, I'm just gonna eat essential oils instead. And then, I'm sorry, but they fucking die. It happens. We've seen it. It's a thing. It is a documented thing that has happened to people who decide to take their health into their own hands. And you paid $3,000 for a test to tell you that if they put your blood in a petri dish with a drop of frankincense essential oil and also a drop of whatever this chemotherapy shit is, well, it's just as effective. In vitro is not in your body. It just, oh my god. Ugh. Dainty Beagley. That's funny. I bet gasoline kills cancer cells in a petri dish. Yeah, and probably like oregano essential oil too. There's studies that show that oregano essential oil like can kill COVID, the COVID virus in vitro. But the human body would have to take in a toxic amount of oregano essential oil in order to kill the virus. So yeah, you're gonna kill the virus. You're also gonna lose your life. So, in my opinion, and that's how I understand it. I'm not a medical professional. However, what I'm saying, whoa, what the fuck did I just do? I don't know. I hit a button. It might have rewound or something. I don't know. I was flailing. I'm sorry. That was my angry flailing moment. What I'm saying is, this sounds like a bullshit. Like, again, she's totally okay with paying $3,000 for this blood test that, I'm sorry, but you're telling me that blood test told you that frankincense is going to be just as effective as chemotherapy when, I'm sorry, I'm not a medical professional, but I can tell you that's bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. You're okay with paying $3,000 for that test, but the moment you go see a legitimate oncologist at MD Anderson, the highest regard of medical care you can get for cancer, suddenly you have an issue with giving them money. But no, it's totally fine. She says all that while continuing to quote Steve Jobs. Yeah. I can't.
Avastin at MD Anderson, because you gotta hit it 2 ways. Avastin only works, I think it's 30%. I'll pull up my Greek test, double check. Which frankincense is just as effective. Like from doTERRA or Young Living. Go buy your essential.
I paused it right before she said that. Oh no, she is not. She is, now listen, she's not going to benefit, like she's not in doTERRA or Young Living. Also, it's doTERRA. There's the little line above the O, meaning you pronounce it as the letter O, doTERRA, not doTERRA. I hate it when people fucking say it like that. I'm like, dude, that's what the line means. It means you pronounce it with the O. Okay, anyway, yo, if someone decides to go buy doTERRA or Young Living from watching this video, does Jessie Lee profit from it? No. But can we not push other MLMs? Like, hey, there's other essential oil companies. Why do you feel the need to only name the MLMs that are predatory in another way? They're not only being predatory because they're preying on people who have cancer, who don't want to go through chemotherapy. They're preying on that, but they're also just like in general predatory business model that victimizes so many people. Yeah, let's just add insult to injury. doTERRA, coffee enema Terra, like doTERRA. Stop, just stop. Jessie Lee, driving me fucking nuts right now.
Oils. Go support it, MLM. Thank you. Okay, it's just as effective, at least in the cancer that's living in me.
In a petri dish.
Colloidal silver, killing this mofo.
Also is poison. You know what else will probably kill the cancer in a petri dish? Bleach? Probably. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying. Does that mean you should go and drink bleach, Jessie? No. No, you'll die. You'll die. It's so obvious. I'm sorry. It is so fucking obvious that, like, a petri dish is not the human body. It doesn't work that way. You are taking a concentrated formula of frankincense essential oil or bleach or whatever the fuck, colloidal silver, and putting it in a petri dish. That's not, the body chemistry is different than a fucking petri dish. There's more going on in your body. It just doesn't work like that.
Cumin and turmeric, killing it. There's so much stuff. There is one of the chemotherapies in all of the chemotherapies. Folfox is a blend of 5, I believe. One is effective against the cancer that has decided to inhabit me.
Okay, then take it, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're admitting that one of the chemotherapies will work for you. Then do it. Then do it. Ugh. Nova, thank you for the $2 hairs. Can't wait for JLW to collab with that oil show. No. Na 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 na. It's coffee time, y'all. Na na na. Hoo hoo. Na na. Jessie Lee's show. Oh my god. Yeah, she really thinks she knows something, doesn't she? It's just so, this is, see, when I try to, like, be thoughtful and kind and, like, giving her a little bit of leeway here and giving her the benefit of the doubt, she goes and she just does this shit. And I can't
Yet I'm gonna kill off, like I think so much of beating cancer is you have to understand cancer is an MFer, and you have to be a bigger MFer. You have to try to outsmart the devil. That's pretty much what's going on. So all the information I could find, am I aware that this is a conversation where I've worked my face off for 12 years. I've been an entrepreneur for 12 years, high-level entrepreneur for about 8.5 years, incredible operator in multiple businesses. I am a business coach that you should hire. Do I understand all these things? Do I understand that it gives me privilege then to be able to pay for these things? Yes. But that is why I'm using this channel to teach you and tell you things that I think are worthwhile, and I would say the RGCC Greek test is one of those.
Yes, I believe that you should go. Hey, first of all, not everyone has $3,000 to spend on a test like this, and even then, it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, no, but neither is she, and it's pretty fucking obvious that she just paid $3,000 for a bunch of
Misinformation.
and now she's suggesting everyone needs to do this. Just $3,000. Hey, Jessie, not everyone has $3,000, especially the people that you're recruiting into your downline. Most of those people spent $3,000 on buying all those fucking ketones, which, if you watch my last video on Jessie Lee, I had to call Aaron B's on the phone and say, hey, the prices that Jessie Lee is selling this shit for, it seems way too expensive. Can you please, like, let me know what she's actually selling here? And Aaron was like, nope, that's the price. And I'm like, excuse me, what? Do you know how easy it is to spend $3,000 and prove it? Pretty fucking easy. They don't have $3,000 to spend on this bogus test. They spent it already on your bullshit ketones that also don't do what you say that it does.
Before you just jump in and leap in and, okay, give me the chemo, give me the chemo, give me the chemo. Just do what's best for you. I'm thankful I did that test because it really, really empowered me in a very big way to take a different route with this. I also then on the 30th had a consultation with Hope for Cancer because I was looking into some of this Gerson therapies. I started reading books about Gerson therapy. You guys should read books on the Gerson therapy and again, crispy cancer and all of that.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but if she's associating it with crispy cancer, crispy cancer, if she's associating those two things in the same fucking sentence, then I'm going to say right now it's probably also bullshit.
And then I guess we'll do this and I'll give you some shout outs because we're nowhere near done. They're not shout outs, they're medical things, so just stay tuned. April 3rd is when I started acupuncture. So I love this, but I really hate
Acupuncture, I'm sorry, like another fucking essentially pseudoscience. I know that, like, yeah, maybe there's like some little very niche things that acupuncture can help with, but it's not going to cure your stage 4 cancer, Jessie. It's just not. And listen, let me put this out here too, because I haven't said this in this live yet either. I don't see a single fucking problem with you utilizing acupuncture and all of these other alternative methods to getting well, as long as you're not using it in replacement of what your doctor is recommending. If you're using it in conjunction, as long as your doctor says, yeah, you know what, it probably won't help, but it won't hurt you either, go for it. As long as they're not telling you that it's going to hurt you if you're doing that, then I don't see an issue with it. I'm not even talking, like, I don't care that she's, okay, yeah, she's doing acupuncture if it was alongside what her doctor suggested she should do. But that's not the case. The case is she's doing it in replacement and not in conjunction. And then she's going on YouTube, going on all of her social medias, and talking about it like it's going to cure your cancer. It's just like statistically, like factually, we don't have proof that that's true.
How the disgusting little herbal teas taste, but if you've ever had it, you already know. A couple things I do want to give massive shout outs to. And when I say shout outs, I mean like these people immediately jumped in. It wasn't there was no hollow bottom, if that makes sense. These were people who really
I'll show you a hollow bottom.
to making my life a life. And I just want to thank you and tell you how they've helped me. So I'm only giving 3 shout outs for this because I know this video I feel like it's getting long. The sun went down. But the first one is my friend Kurt Linnington. He is the, I believe, CEO and founder and owner of Linear Roofing here in Dallas. Is he a supernova businessman that is unbelievable and has built an incredible life? Yes. He took the time to text me and say, I have this biocharger.
Oh, look, she's blurring shit again. Look at that. I hate this for you. I'm in Minnesota. I'm going to bring you my biocharger Sunday. If there's anything I can do, please don't hesitate to ask me, even if it's just to talk. Fist bump. And she said, thank you. Morning. Are you in town? Yes. I'm home. And then she showed us that she does, in fact, know how to blur things. Heading your way in about 40 to drop off machine. Okay, working on some technical difficulties. Text you when I leave here, hopefully in 30. All good. Might be getting ozone. I'll keep you updated. Again, this is another... Like, I get that she's trying to, like, make it well known that she does, in fact, screenshot and save everything. Yeah, cool. This is irrelevant. Why is this here? Like, this isn't adding, like, anything of importance? Like, this is, like, filler shit that doesn't have to be there? I don't know.
He texts me all kinds of stuff, actually. He's like, I'm going to bring the biocharger over. And I'm going to show you a video of the biocharger, explaining it really fast so you can see this. This sits in my living room. This is a gift that he's allowing me to borrow through this journey. And I use it multiple times every single day. And I want to thank you because I really believe in the energy of all of this. I really believe that this machine is working. And I really believe that the energy that is...
That's great that she blurred... yeah, it probably was an address. Yeah, you're probably right. The point is, the reason I bring that up is if you're just joining... Earlier, she included a screenshot about a divorce lawyer in California for Avi, and it's like, why is that here? She could have blurred it, she could have cropped it out, she could have done all these things. Why did she leave that in? And I think it's because she was intentionally making a jab at Yehudis, or Avi's wife. I think she was doing it to be malicious, to be an absolute bitch. I'm just pointing that out because it's really, there's no excuse for her to have left that in that screenshot when she very clearly knows how to use a blur feature.
Pounding through my body from this is helping heal me. And so I want to thank you because you did not have to do this for me. And
yes, Melissa, shout out to all my rich friends who give me free shit. Yep, congratulations, Jessie. You're very privileged and we all know it.
chose to. And it just tells me the kind of man that I knew you were, but it really shows me the kind of man that you are. So thank you. I love our friendship. I love you. I appreciate you. And this is just an example of more and more blessings that are going to come raining down on you for that. The second person is Dr. Matt Chalmers. He has a practice here in Frisco, Texas. He let me come in immediately and just kind of went over some things with me that he would have suggested. And that was the first time I went and used a hyperbaric chamber. I actually bought a hyperbaric chamber. It is now in my house from him. And he's just been an incredible support system. He helped me get some IVs set up.
Is that hyperbaric chamber the $15,000 thing that she's always bragging about? Maybe she'll say it here. So then so the biocharger is that like red light therapy thing, right? That she also has shown us, like she'll sit in a room and like meditate with it on or something like that. Chloe, good point. How is this helping anyone? Unless you have $15,000 to spend on a hyperbaric chamber of your own, no one. If you don't have the money to afford to mail your blood to Greece overnight for $3,000, no one. But hey, if you're an entrepreneur, if you join her team, then maybe if you get cancer someday, you can afford this too. Yeah.
In my house so I could do vitamin C drips on my own. He's helped hook me up with other doctors to be able to get me my PICC line. He's helped me get my PICC line out. He's helped me do a lot, and I just want to thank you very much. And again, tons of blessings, tons of abundance to you and your family as well. And the third person, this is unbelievable, and I want you to read this text message that I'm going to read the text message actually because I just think it's amazing the community of people that I'm able to surround myself with. And oh, turds, it's not on this phone. It's on the phone I'm recording this
turds.
on. So, all right, so I'm just going to have the screenshot for you then, but that's okay. I want to tell you about this situation. So this man, Travis Alla, he owns iCryo here in Frisco, Texas. Actually, I'm totally kidding. I haven't. I'm going to read it. And on February 25th, he messaged me because I shared my story. I'm going to tell you why I share my story to close this video up in a second here. He owns iCryo Frisco. Please go. I want you to support this man's business. I want you to support everything he does because A, he is just a really good man. But second of all, I want to read this to you because this to me is unbelievable. Now, did I already have a membership at iCryo? Yes. Had I already been using his facilities? Yes. But I'm just going to read it. Hey, first text message he's ever sent me. hey, I want you to know you're in me and my team's prayers. If there's anything we can do to support you, we're here. I have a big passion against all things cancer. We have a few of our ozone therapy guests actually going to remission. Obviously, I'm not saying it's a cure. I'm confident it could be helpful in aiding your body.
At least he said that, but also, I mean, the data we have on ozone IV treatments, from what I looked up personally, now I'm not a medical professional or anything, but there are some health concerns that it can be dangerous. So, yeah. Dangerous at worst, ineffective at best is basically what I've read.
As you fight through this, no sales pitch here. You have impacted me with your content and I want to add value. No cost, completely on me. I want to offer ozone therapy, red light, and my entire wellness clinic in support to you. Unbelievable.
Is that very kind? Yes. Again, who is this helping? No one but Jessie Lee. No. What do you think that people are going to do? Someone else is going to watch this video and be like, I have cancer too. Let me call up this place and see if they'll give me shit for free. Of all the people who can afford to utilize this guy's facility, it's Jessie Lee. And I understand, yeah, very nice of that guy to offer it for free. But, like, he's not going to offer it to everyone who's just like, hey, I'm a fan of Jessie Lee and I have cancer. Can I get him for free? Like, it's not doing that. That's not happening. So, like, yeah, basically she's just like, I am very powerful and I have a lot of connections, so I get things for free, but you're gonna have to pay for it. It's gonna cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, cool.
He even offered then to have IVs delivered to my house. He offered anything. I mean, I gotta show you. I'm gonna post it. To me, it's like, I went in then and I met him for the first time in person and we had a conversation and he talked about how on stage 2 years ago, a presentation about culture changed his entire business. And you just never know the impact of what you're doing, I guess, is what I would like everybody to kind of think through when you're making decisions in your day-to-day life. Be that good person. You have no idea who's watching. And with that said, I think I told you I was going to tell you something else, but I completely forgot. And I feel like this video is going on and on, but I'm going to leave you again with just a happy message. I'm so positive. I am so sure that this is going to have a good outcome. I am feeling vibrant and energized and healthy.
This is coming from the person who thought that she was losing all the weight that she never was able to lose before. She thought she was losing weight because she was injecting like a bazillion things into her butt. You know, she thought that what she was doing was helping her lose weight when ultimately what it really was fucking cancer. So, Jessie, I don't know if your personal feelings about things like this are a reference to reality, I guess. Like, yeah, no, I think that's great. Like, keep your thoughts positive and stuff like that, but you are not that special and you're not that powerful. Like, you're a human just like the rest of us, dude.
I feel like my life has become better in many ways because of this. I feel like...
Imagine saying my life has become better because I have terminal fucking cancer. I mean, I guess if anything, maybe if what she means is like, I have a greater appreciation for life and its fragility and all that, like, okay, sure, cool. I don't know if you can say that your life got better because of it, though. Like, I don't know. If it works out for her, great. Cool.
It is a gift that I'm able to share this with all of you, and I want to remind you, you're not alone. I want to remind you that I know it can be noisy. I want to remind you that you have time to make informed decisions. I want to remind you that I'm just a message away. And so whether it's you that is in this journey of healing or whether it is somebody you love, don't give up. There are always good people out there. There's always going to be good resources. And if nothing else, shift your nutrition. If nothing else, just become aware. I know greens taste like garbage, but they are good for you, okay? And I want everybody to live such a vibrant, healthy, happy life. And I have so much more to share. I'm going to take you through the entire journey here, but that's kind of the continuation of where I was from the last video. And I hope that this inspires some of you. I hope some of you are motivated to maybe take a more holistic route. I hope some of you.
There, she's fucking said it. That's exactly why she's doing this on purpose. She literally said, I hope that this is convincing people, essentially, to not do chemotherapy, to not listen to your modern medicine doctors, and to take a more holistic approach. And again, sorry, my nose ring is like bugging me. Again, if you're doing that in conjunction with what your doctors are recommending, and your doctor says it's fine, then like, sure, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. But like, she's basically like, I hope that these YouTube videos that I'm making are going to convince you to not listen to your doctors. And like, I don't know, you're going to pay all that money to your insurance company. Might as well just pay it directly to these alternative medicine guys instead. I can't.
You understand you can do the holistic and the traditional at the same time. I hope some of you are seeing kind of the deconstruction of what's kind of going on in the medical world. And then feel free to ask questions below, because I'm filming this, yeah, for me, but also for you.
These people act like we don't know that Big Pharma makes a lot of money. I think, oh, I have to sneeze. Oh, God. Oh, I'm just, like, rubbing it out of my nostrils. It'll come back. Yeah, it's like, you guys just don't realize what's happening in the medical world. No, we realize, like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself here, but I, and I know many others, are actively using our voices and voting to change the way, the really shitty parts about the way that our healthcare system is intertwined with capitalism. Yeah, we don't like that. And you're sitting here basically saying the same thing, that you don't like it, but you're voting for people who are keeping it that way. So like, make it make sense, right? No, we are aware. We're aware that there's a lot of profit in medicine. We're also aware that people in America pay like so much more for prescriptions, for medical treatment than in any other country. Not even like established countries, like even like countries who have like worse, their economies are worse and shit than America, they still pay less for subscription, oh my god, prescription drugs and medical treatments and stuff than we do. It doesn't take a genius to know that. I think we all know that, right? Like, it's, don't sit here and try to pretend that you're like so much, you're way more like woke than the rest of us. Wake up, sheeple! Oh my god. No, we know, Jessie. We're trying to change that, and like, people like you aren't letting us!
And I want this to be something where people are uplifted and inspired and see that cancer can be just a big red alarm in your system that says, pay attention, something has to change.
That's not what no. I mean, yes, sure, yeah, you can make some lifestyle changes. Listen, if you get a cancer diagnosis, you probably should change some things, but that's not she's making it sound like, oh, the reason people get cancer is so it's just their bodies telling them they need to change something. And I think, no. There's not, like, cancer doesn't need a reason to be there. It's just there. Like, oh my god. Why are you trying to give a reason for cancer? Like, and then even in that case, the whole reason that Jessie got a full body MRI in the first place is because she wanted to be able to prove how healthy she was, because she thought that she was doing all these great things and that she was healthier than she's ever been. She said that she wanted to be able to take those results to her doctors in the future and be like, here's my blood work, here's all the things that I was doing when I was feeling my best and looking my best. Please make me feel like this again. Like I was feeling like this 10 years ago. That's what she was doing. That's what she said. She thought that she was healthier than she's ever been. And now she's just like, oh, cancer just tells you that something needs to change. You thought that you were doing the best things. Like, oh my god. Why does anyone listen to anything that Jessie Lee says?
Because that's the message that I received from it. And that's the message that I know is going to continue to move me forward in my life as we heal from this together. So I know we're not done this journey of healing, but I do know we're on the right path. And I totally forgot to mention, at that acupuncture meeting, that was when I decided to go vegan in April. This sweet Chinese lady who reminded me so much of Nana.
Why do we have to bring up her nationality and her race? Like, why is that relevant?
She kind of scolded me. She kind of got on me about eating meat, and she said, no, colon cancer, no, plant-based. I was like, wow.
I think there's actual science behind that, but anyway.
Okay, plant-based, plant-based, plant-based.
Oh, I think it's like red meat. Like, if you eat an abundance of red meat, like red meat specifically, not just like, I don't know, you can eat like lean meats and stuff, but like red meat, if you eat an abundance of it, pretty sure your chances, I'm just speaking from memory here, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure there's like a much higher chance of you developing colorectal cancer if you're like a heavy red meat eater. I think there's like legitimate science behind that.
So that's when all of the vegan started, minus a couple of weeks, which I'll talk about in a later video. But please listen to your body. Please go get checked. Please make sure you advocate for your health. And
please go get checked. Please go spend thousands of dollars on a full body MRI. Oh wait, that's right. Only I can afford that because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the #1 entrepreneur in the world. But everyone else, like, I don't know, hustle a little harder. God.
make sure you subscribe to this channel and you follow along for all updates, because this thing's going to be ringing every single week consistently until I'm done telling the journey, and then I'm going to take you on the journey as I am healed. So I love you all. I appreciate you all.
Fingers
My name is
crossed.
Jessie Lee. Follow me everywhere. Subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll be back next week.
Swell. That's just swell, isn't it? We love it. Guys, wow. Yep, been live for 3 hours. Seems about right. Let me see if there's anyone live right now that we can redirect to. But otherwise, listen, as always, thanks for sitting through all this with me. I know it's rough. And I know I get heated, and I know Jessie Lee says some other shit that makes everyone else heated. Just thanks for being here, you know? Oh my god, how the fuck? Sorry, I'm like trying to navigate my back office here. Oh look, we've already been demonetized. Do you guys want to see this just for proof? Check that out. Hey, what's up? Limited ads and we're still live. Why does this happen to me? Why? Is it because I said something about coffee and buttholes? Did I talk about buttholes too much? Is that what it was? Alright, let's see. Reading scary stories live. I'm not going to do that to you guys. Ooh, Mean Girls, Clown Town. I don't know. It says that they're upcoming at 9 p.m. Oh, that's an hour from now. Well, I'll redirect to them anyway, just in case there's people, like, catching up or something. Clown Town will be live, so. Alright, well, hey, YouTube, can we get a fucking request? I confirm this video meets YouTube advertiser-friendly guidelines. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Every fucking time. I'm telling you guys, dude, every single time I go live, I get demonetized. And then I have to request a review, and it takes them, like, multiple days. And then by the time they always give me my monetization back. Every time. But, like, by the time they do, like, most of the views have already happened. So, like, I don't really get paid for them. It's great. It's great. Yeah, I don't know. And see, that's the issue, is that they tell me that I've been demonetized, but they don't tell me why. Horses by Hula Chowdown. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. You've done enough. You don't have to keep giving me more money. I send you a postcard every month. Yeah, it's frustrating because they don't tell you why they demonetize it. So that's frustrating. But knowing YouTube, they'll give me my monetization back in like 4 days. So it's fine. Thank you again. I appreciate you all being here. Clowntown goes live in an hour, so please check them out. I will have a video for you guys, hopefully tomorrow. It's a collab, so I'm waiting on the other creator to tell me when I can go live with it. So yeah, just on a waiting game here, so hopefully it'll be tomorrow. And I don't know, thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. I appreciate you all existing and sitting through all this shit with me. I guess I will talk to y'all later. Bye.